Okay, so we are extremely excited to get started today. We are going to go over a little bit of a rundown of the Boss Blitz, what's going to happen, some of the rules, and how everything is basically going to go down. Are you ready, Matt?
Yep.
All right, so we have 3 teams competing today. Team Pink Bean, Teams Orange Mushroom, and Team Slime. Now, these teams are going to be going against some of our bosses that we have chosen and assigned a point value to. Some of these bosses include Bonbon, Pierre, Crimson Queen, Vellum, Lotus, and Damien, all
Yep.
with an assortment of different point values.
Oh, and it's gone.
Now, dying in these bosses will also reduce the points from our players, so they must be careful, and losing lives can actually cost them to lose the match if they aren't careful.
Absolutely. Also, one thing to keep in mind is that this is a 2-hour marathon, and our participants will be going in the official. They're not going into practice mode. So if they do die out, they have to wait that 30 minutes.
That is correct. That is correct. Now, the teams are led by some amazing coaches that are helping direct them in which bosses that they want to face. Now, the 2 classes that we will see be represented today are Dawn Warrior and Nightwalker.
Yep.
They will have similar gear stats. However, their hyper stats are chosen by
their
their
coaches.
coaches. Correct. Okay, now, so during the previous week leading up to Boss Blitz, we asked a lot of you and our newer players to vote for which team you think is going to win. And today, we have the results of those votes and the bonuses that are going to be provided to those teams because of their votes. Now, coming in the lead is Team Pink Bean with 897 points. Because of this, they will be given an additional Extreme Red Potion, Extreme Green Potion, Sparkling Blue Star Potion, and a Red Star Potion. Coming up in second place is Team Orange Mushroom with 673 votes. Because of this, they will now earn an Extreme Red Potion, an Extreme Green Potion, Sparkling Blue Star Potion, and a Red Star Potion. And lastly, we have Team Green Slime with 384 votes, which will reward them with an Extreme Red Potion and Extreme Grown Potion. It will be up to the players to decide how they use these potions in their boss fights.
Yeah. Green potion. You said growth potion.
Yes. Okay.
All right. So everyone is getting ready right now, setting up, I'm assuming.
Yes, correct.
All right.
Now, if you're watching from home, we'd like to see in the Twitch chat which team you guys are rooting for home. Show your team pride in the chat today.
Pull that up. Oh. All right, so while we are waiting for everything to get situated, which boss do you think they will have the most difficulty with out of what they're going to do?
Ooh, that is a great question. So if you've been watching from home and you've been watching the coaching streams leading up to this grand finale, you've been able to see some of the players' experience with some of the bosses that they've gone to. Now, everybody's different, and every player in MapleStory has a little bit of a different challenge with certain boss mechanics of what they go up against. For me, personally, I had felt like Crimson Queen could have been one of the biggest threats for a lot of players if the debuffs are not managed properly. What about you, Matt?
Thank you for asking.
I'd love your answer.
I don't know. I think out of CRA, probably Pierre because of the split. If they don't manage the split properly, they will be in a world
That's
apart
true.
with both of them out.
I feel like Pierre is a boss that is very easy to quickly spiral and lose all of your lives.
Absolutely.
You're able to tackle it correctly, or you miss a mechanic, and next thing you know, you're wiping all of your lives.
Even if they decide to die on purpose, they will receive a penalty for that. So they really need to be careful and not push it over the threshold.
Yes, exactly. That is extremely important. And as we did mention before, it will be up to the teams and their coaches to decide which bosses they want to tackle for those point values. So a lot of that is going to have a lot of strategy in choosing in which direction they want to go in. It's going to be really important because one team may take a different path than another. That's what's going to spread them apart and show the differences.
Really choosing that order might make or break this competition.
Exactly. If you get too greedy and go for those higher points, but you miss the mechanics and end up losing a lot of lives, that's end up going to cause more damage for your point value than if you had just played it safe and maybe gone with the more comfortable boss for your playstyle.
All right, seems like some strategy right now is going on between Team Orange Mushroom. All right, some last-second coaching from Mimi.
Yeah, so we're watching our players here getting prepared with their coaches.
Yeah.
Yep. We have Deboki on Team Pink Bean over here preparing Blastoise and Peter Park for their preparation.
Peter just trying to figure out how he's going to manage this.
So Matt, during the build-up to this finale and watching the streams of the players, learning how to go against these bosses, has there been a specific team that stood out to you or that you might have noticed has maybe taken a leap in some way or just caught your attention with a specific boss?
Yeah, I think Team Orange Mushroom probably has the best go at this with Savix and Stoops. Them being both MMO veterans, they kind of translate over to, even though they're pretty new to MapleStory, they can translate that over to the game pretty well. And Mimi's been doing a really great job with leading them, with what to do.
I agree. I think that's a pretty good point.
Yeah. I feel like all the coaches are doing a pretty good job, regardless. Being able to take people that aren't playing MapleStory regularly and being able to teach them in a pretty, quick time how to tackle some of these very challenging bosses in our game.
Most definitely. I mean, it's extremely important to note that our contestants today, besides the coaches, are brand new to MapleStory, and the coaches spent their time making sure that these our contestants are as caught up to date as much as possible with their classes and teach them from a different level than maybe an average Maple player.
Yeah.
So they're coming from a different experience, and that creates that climb. And it's been really entertaining watching that climb and see how they develop their skills, their mechanics, and how they've been able to adjust to a lot of the different bosses.
Yeah, I think the going from nothing and seeing the progression that the players have done so far in these past couple of weeks has been pretty insane.
Yeah, it's been incredible to watch them, and it's been quite a journey for where they've gotten today. And it's going to be amazing to see them in action in the finale.
Yeah. Okay. I think we might be ready to go here very
Yeah.
soon.
So we're just kind of preparing, and everything's getting set up.
Settled. Oh, I think something to mention is that specifically for Lotus and Damien, the teams will be receiving a very cracked emblem and secondary in order to help them out with that.
Yes. Oh, actually, that reminds me, Matt. Thank you. One really good point to note for those watching from home or that are here and may not know as well, all of our contestants, the characters that are playing, are playing with regular world stats. So they don't have the reboot passive damage for that final damage. And they're not using any link skills or legion. They're only using the stats of their character.
And familiars either.
Exactly, yes.
Yeah.
So they won't be able to use any advantage of additional IED or anything from that, from any link skills. No damage will be received from those bonuses.
Oh, And it seems like we are in game at the moment, looking
Awesome.
at Blau and Peter Park. Getting their keys ready to, seems like they're going to be tackling Sierra, right?
Yes, yes. I mean, one really fun thing about watching all of the training streams. Oh, it's a bit loud.
Okay.
Oh, we're just going straight in. Okay.
Straight into
okay,
green
so
slime
we're
with
straight for
Zero.
Damien.
Going into Damien for a very interesting choice, honestly. But I feel like it makes sense.
And we've lost our screen.
I feel like it makes sense, though, because, you know, Damien, you have 10 lives. So it's a little bit easier than Lotus.
Exactly. Okay, we see
Ability.
Orange Mushroom taking Queen here as their first choice for the boss, okay?
Okay.
As long as they manage debuffs.
They are popping their burst. Oh, and it's over.
And there we go. So Crimson Queen's down from Orange Mushroom already. Let's
Ow.
give a round of applause for them.
All right, damn, that was.
All right,
that was
now
fast.
we're on to Team Green Slime with Bajira and Zizaran on Damien.
I feel like for P1 Damien, the really important thing is going to be that sword placement.
Yes, let's see if they get the air bind here.
Nope, just.
Nope, okay, it looks
all
like they're
those
choosing not to
balls.
bind in this stage.
No.
Okay, now we're gonna.
Team
Oh,
Pink Bean, we see our
oh, okay, we
first
lost a life
death
already on Pink Bean.
From Peter Park, oh no. Smiling about it.
It's okay, okay,
As
it's
you
okay.
should.
If we get the lives out on Bon Bon.
Oh, they got the bind though. And they're popping their
And there we go for the bind.
That is pretty insane damage if I do say so myself.
Most definitely.
Oh, but they couldn't do it in only one burst, so we'll see how they manage. The boss is oh, almost dead. Okay, it's in its final phase. Team Orange Mushroom here with
Oh.
Stoops and Savix taking on Pierre. Like we talked about earlier, it's going to be really important for them to not split Pierre, and if they do, they're going to be
Yes, they need to make
into
sure they're
trouble.
able to manage that before they start losing additional lives.
Yeah.
Pierre can be very tricky on when choosing to bind as well. It's very critical that you don't miss your moment or do it in a moment when you have the same hat. For those watching at home, if you have the same hat as Pierre, you're going to heal him instead of do damage.
Exactly.
So you want to watch for those hat colors above the players.
Exactly. But
For example, on Savix, we see the blue above him means Pierre has a blue hat.
Yes, but what is it? Savix does have a red hat, which means he can still deal damage to Pierre right now, while Stoops is just kind of playing.
Yes.
away. But I feel like at this point, you're going to get the boss down a little bit more, and then just pretty much wait for your cooldowns.
Most definitely, yes.
then
We're
burst.
seeing Stoops taking advantage of the skill rising
Oh,
sun
I
as
mean,
much
they
as possible.
could do it here. They have their skills up. If they knew what to do, they would be bursting right now. They both have red. Oh.
Oh, and we're moving back into Damien. Okay, it looks like we lost a life from Bajira.
Yes. Oh, and
Oh.
Damien resisted the bind, which means they did not wait the full 90 seconds in order
Yeah,
to
sometimes
get
that bind
burst
timer
off.
is a little tricky. You got to make sure you're on point, or you will lose that massive cooldown and have to wait another 3 minutes.
It is a 2-minute cooldown, right?
Correct. Oh, and Team Orange Mushroom takes down Pierre.
All right, they did it well. Oh, so it seems like you're just gonna go in order, just from left to right.
Okay, yeah, so they're just going to go through left through right, it seems.
Yeah. Oh, nice high five.
Sportsmanship, amazing. Working together. Okay, so far we have 4 points for Team Pink Bean, 5 points for Team Orange Mushroom.
Awesome.
Or lives, sorry, apology, lives.
We got Team Pink Bin here on Chaos Queen. Oh, in this phase, Queen will be sucking her. There it is. Yep, she sucks you in front of her, which you want to stay behind her.
Yes, you
or
want to make sure
continue
you're not
doing
facing
damage.
the same direction as Queen. Oh, and here comes the Poland.
They're both down currently 1 life on Queen. Oh, all right, and they got their bind off, and let's see that big damage. Oh, Blau just flexing his stat, just making the people at home know just how strong he is.
Exactly.
And Peter died. Oh, unfortunate death there from Blau, but they still seem to be doing pretty well. I believe the boss is almost dead.
I love that Blastoise is taking advantage of the Equinox Slash on Dawn Warrior to reposition himself with Queen to make sure he's not facing the same direction.
Absolutely, yes. Scoops and Savix here already have started.
The more
on
mobility,
Vaughn.
the better.
We're about like 20% in, 20-30. He will be jumping, all right. I think a very key thing to know in Bon is to be able to time when he will jump, right? Because
Yes,
if
exactly.
you get locked and you get stunned in an animation, you will die.
Yeah, that's extremely dangerous.
Yeah. There we go. And it seems like whoever is playing Dawn Warrior on each team also knows about their the debuff, right?
Yes, yes. Making sure
That-
we want to
that
keep up that
lowers-
debuff as much as possible.
Gives extra final damage. True Sight
Yes, True Sight.
reduces defense, so you got to make sure you're managing that debuff well in order to give yourself an advantage.
And you got to make sure it's active every 30 seconds if you want to be taking full advantage of that debuff as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're back to Green Slime on Damien.
Still
And Damien's going to go for
tackling
the dive in the middle.
it. They're about 30% in at the moment, doing well with the sword.
And Damien's dash, okay.
Okay. Yeah. Place the sword in the corner, not a problem. And then they
Okay,
go
back to Orange Mushroom on Pierre, and it looks like they're about, Bon, sorry, and they're about to take him down, and there
and
they
he's
go.
dead. Let's go. Team Orange Mushroom in a pretty solid lead at the moment.
Yes.
Okay. We have both red hats from Team Pink Bean here on Clown.
Yep, so far,
But getting trapped in those hats that does take a little bit of time, to get out of. So
yeah,
But
they
as long
need to be
as you don't
extremely
die,
careful
then it's
here.
fine.
You don't want to get caught by one of the falling hats. That stun can result in a death as well.
when Pierre is red, yes, you do
Yes,
not want,
when
you do
he's
not want to
red.
get
Yeah,
stunned.
it is very dangerous
he's
to
red.
get caught in those.
But it's good that they're still taking advantage of doing. Oh, and there goes me. It's still that they're doing continuous damage with the correct hat on. Oh, I think we got a death from Peter. Actually, no, I didn't see that. So, okay, they're both blue hat here. Oh, okay, Pierre doing tricks. Oh, okay, and just completely knocked out Peter again.
Oh! Oh, and we just got another death from
there-
Team Pink Bean.
Another death for
See,
Team Pink
one thing that Blastoise could do as he's playing a Nightwalker is use his Greater Dark Servant to help move him away from those by swapping positions. He can do it up to 3 times on a 60-second CD, which may help be able to reposition him if he does get stuck in one of those situations.
and Darkseid.
Yes, and Darkseid as well, definitely. Taking full advantage of the class kit and every little skill is going to give you the biggest advantage in these mechanics.
Yeah, they can't really do anything there because they're both red hats, so now they can just continue doing damage. Or just waiting for their burst in order to both have the same opposite hat as Pierre. They're not getting any good luck right now.
Okay, so
it's
we
always a
still
1-1.
have one with the same hat. Oh, and another one from Pierre.
There goes
Ooh.
Blau. Oh, but he's going to take advantage of this and burst. Oh, but then he got caught in a hat, causing time to tick on that bind.
Oof.
Oh, and the bind, unfortunately, has gone to waste.
Yes, that is going to be a huge setback. As we were discussing earlier, Pierre is a boss that is very easy to start slipping lives on.
Yeah.
One choke, and next thing you know, your lives are gone.
Yep. Okay, Peter should take advantage of this here and do some damage, if only gets
Definitely
the
want to
boss's
go out of that.
health. What is that, 50%, I think? It's very hard to tell.
Yes, one strategy too that a lot of players will do with Pierre is purposely lose a life so that they can reset that hat, but that is a bit dangerous because they lose points here, but we're going back to Team Green Slime on Damien. Looks like we got a cleanse from Bajheera, which is great because we don't want more sword stacks. That would only make things worse for them. Damon's going to dive in the middle.
Yep, still managing the swords pretty well. You just want to make sure that you don't, you know, tunnel a little too much, right? And have that sword in the middle.
Yes,
like
exactly. And if Bajheera ever finds himself stuck in a position where Damien has him right there, he can always solar eclipse his way through it if it is off cooldown.
Yep, and use his dash as well.
Yes, his Equinox Slash will help reposition him as well.
Very
Definitely
low
don't want to be
cooldown
caught
on
in the
that.
swords.
Oh, he is a little bit out. Is he out of range?
Okay, they got the bind and now they're bursting.
There we
Let's
go.
see how much damage they can do to Damien. Knock him down as far as possible.
Bajheera
Both are
could
just
have
sitting at one
Equinox
stack
Slash
at the
with that,
moment,
though.
which is totally good, and they're not really in any panic.
No. But he was attacking like outside of the because he didn't want to die from the.
Yes.
brand.
Oh, and we're back on Orange Slime doing Vellum.
Team Orange Mushroom managing to dominate the competition so far. I think one very important thing in Vellum is to keep your distance, all right? Because if you are too close, he will come up, he will push you back, and deal massive damage.
Yes, exactly.
You do not want to get stunned by those rocks.
They're doing a really good job at dodging those falling hazards, which can definitely be a huge problem. You get stun locked there, and next thing you know, you're down alive.
I believe they don't have pets, right? In this?
Correct.
So if you take a little too much damage from that poison, that could also...
That is also true. Yes, the
fatal.
poison can be very lethal here, and we lost another life on Team Pink being from Pierre. Seems like Pierre is giving them a lot of trouble today.
They are having a lot of trouble with those hats.
Yes, but it's not all lost because they can always take a higher boss of a higher point value and make up for that loss.
They're both
still.
red. Pierre is in blue. Are they going to burst here? Looks like they're prepping for it. Yup. Popping their buttons. Hit the bind. And got had it. Ooh. And another death. Right. Oh, but they got it.
And they got it, and they did it.
Okay.
Pierre is down for
We take
Team
it.
Pink.
We take it. We take. Let's go.
Okay.
But unfortunately, Blau did die at the very end there, so that will cause
Yes.
a penalty for their team. Seems like Vellum is almost dead here for Team Orange Mushroom. Okay, Vellum is going to go...
Yes, and for all our
a
Nightwalkers, for all the teams in the party, it's extremely important that they make sure they're upkeeping Shadow Bite for that increased final damage on boss monsters.
And okay, it's okay. Savix did not die because he lost his, essentially his Nightwalker door.
Yes, that was
He's extra
amazing. That was
life.
actually a really, really good strategy there to avoid losing a life.
Yes, so they do not receive a penalty for that because their life counter does not go down. All right, and Vellum's done.
And
All
that's
right.
it. That was incredible. Orange Mushroom just defeated Vel, and we see them cheering each other. That's amazing.
Team Orange
We
Mushroom
love the
has
energy with
swept
this team.
CRA and now are going to be moving on to either Lotus or Damien.
Yes.
Meanwhile, in Team Green Slime, they are still on Damien here in P1, cleansing very nicely, knowing to cleanse at a pretty, fairly low amount of stacks. If you get too high of a number, it might spell death.
Yes. So far, Team Orange Mushroom's on a roll as they've lost 0 lives in Von Bon and Crimson Queen.
Team Slime here has lost 2 lives so far, both from Bajheera. Can they get the bind off, though?
And Damien is doing what we like to call hot Cheetos.
Oh, yeah.
Gotta be very careful, though, because even clipping the edge of one of those fireballs will result in a death.
I believe it's like 95%.
Yeah, pretty much death.
Okay. All right, but they seem to be bursting here, but not necessarily taking advantage of the bind. I don't know if it was resisted again.
Yes.
But bursting without bind, not the way you want to really go about
And we wonder...
maximize damage.
Exactly. Now, Bajira's at 3 stacks, which still isn't too... Okay, now
That
we're at 4
4 now.
stacks, which is a little bit worrisome.
He really needs to
But they
cleanse.
still have plenty of time to make sure that they don't get another sword summoned.
Okay.
Now, the altar is up. They could cleanse
Yeah.
here if they get the ability, but they
The
need
summon-
to wait for the fireballs to clear to be able to do so.
Sword went down on the left side, so he should have enough time. Oh, and almost caught a 5th stack right there from Damien's dive.
There we go.
All right, back to Team Pink Bean. They are on Vellum. Blau is on 1 life, and he's about to die.
Oh, no.
We have
We
our
lost
first
one
wipeout of the day.
Now, Peter Park can choose to leave and move on or try to solo the rest of the boss on his own if he chooses to do so.
He does have 3 lives left.
Yeah, it is very possible here. He can use a lot of his Nightwalker mobility.
Oh, and just walked
we did get
into
a
that
death there.
tail. Is this here
Now we're
really
back
taking
to
advantage-
Damien.
They're really taking advantage of
Okay,
his
so it
dark
looks like they're
side.
trying to take the chance to cleanse, but Damien's not giving them chance by blocking off the altar as much as possible.
Sword management has to be a little bit better.
Yes, swords management is incredibly important because it can become more difficult with the more swords that are
But
summoned.
They are both fairly
Okay, so we are
high
going to get a
amount
cleanse
of
from
stacks.
Bajira. Hopefully here he's going to try as long as Damien's not
Oh,
poking
he
him.
got it.
Oh,
Nice.
he got it.
Just
This is
barely.
good. This is good. Now we just
That's
have to worry
good.
about Zizaran's stacks.
Utilizing Styx Crossing there to jump over the Damien's brand, which gives an iframe, was a very good
Oh,
idea.
okay. There we go. There we go. Now they're on to the final phase of Damien.
All right. I love the BGM in Phase 2 Damien.
Yeah, Phase 2
it is
Damien has
absolutely
amazing
fire.
music. It's absolutely incredible.
Really need to take a look. Oh, they should take advantage right now. Bajir should take advantage of cleansing.
Matt, would you like to explain this ball effect and why it's extremely important to make sure that the teams move it away from Damien?
Absolutely. If you stand in the blue ball, you will do only 10% of your damage.
Oh, we're moving on to Lotus with Team Orange Mushroom. All right, let's see how well they handle Phase 1. Stoops did an amazing job at relocating himself from the lasers. Savix is also taking advantage of his servants to get out of those lasers directions.
Oh, and Stoops taking advantage of Equinox Slash and dashing through the laser, acting as a teleport.
Exactly, they're doing an incredible job at making sure they're not getting poked. And
Oh,
Stoops
but-
takes advantage of the iframe
Oh,
to get
but
to the
laser getting
laser,
fast.
speeding up.
Oh no. Oh no, this, oh, okay. Oh,
Okay, and
but
we get the dash
managing-
again.
Managing
This is
pretty
incredible.
well. Okay, and he
Yes, the
sticks
amount of
with the laser.
iframes that he can take advantage of on Dawn Warrior is absolutely incredible.
This man is absolutely on fire with his skill management, I must say.
They're bouncing this so well.
Oh,
He got
oh, he
shot.
got
Oh, he
reversed.
got by the
Oh,
laser
no.
from the stun. You got to be extremely careful from those map objects as they will get you locked and you will get caught by those lasers.
It is those summons, yes. I mean, like the objects, as you said, and then the little summons have
Yes,
a
the summons.
different effect, right? So he got hit by
Correct.
the reverse post stun, which caused him to die.
Exactly.
Good idea, though, waiting out his death timer. You know, and not
Oh,
rushing.
we accidentally lost a live on Savix's side. Back to Team Pink Bean trying Lotus as well. Let's see if they can handle it in a similar way.
Yes.
We've seen what these two classes can do when you take advantage of their mobility and their iframes, and if Team Pink Bean can do the same, it's going to give it a massive advantage for them.
Oh, okay. They are. Laser management has been pretty well so far. Not too bad.
Yep.
Although Blau could be using Equinox Slash a little bit more, so he doesn't have to be wasting time and rotating across.
Yeah,
the
that
map.
Equinox Slash is amazing for repositioning. And they're doing a good job at taking care of the mobs with a lot of this AoE to get rid of the map and clear space for the players.
to be able to move freely. Absolutely.
Exactly. Because if they choose not to use iframes or repositions,
Oh,
they
oh,
can't
and-
use the
oh,
portals,
oh.
and he got caught.
Blau failed
got
the up
caught by
jump.
the portal.
Oh. Unlucky, as we say it.
Yeah, that is the risk of trying to take portals. You can end up finding yourself meeting a laser and losing a life.
Back to Team Orange Mushroom, though, with Stoops and Savix, and they seem to be...
The sooner they get out of P1, the easier it's going to be for them, as this
Yep.
is an incredibly dangerous phase to go against.
It can all go downhill in P1. if
Now
you manage
remember,
well.
during Lotus, our team does have a stronger emblem to help them against these bosses, as they are a little bit more difficult.
More boss and IED, right?
Correct.
Yes, okay. 80% extra additional defense and 48% attack. That's a lot of damage. But they're definitely going to need that because they don't have any not hyper stats, but
Exactly.
no skills, no legion, no
Okay,
familiars.
Orange Mushroom is doing a really good job at relocating and repositioning themselves now. Be careful of those lasers and taking more advantage of their relocating skills.
Using Solar Eclipse, though, to manage...
Okay, and Stoops is
that.
able to iframe through the laser, which is amazing for them. Now they're not having to rely on the portals and focus more on staying in the middle.
Oh, and phase 1 is
That's
down.
amazing, and they cleared P1 of Lotus.
All right. Should be smooth sailing from here, hopefully. In P2, I think there's a lot of debris coming down, but the thing they need to pay attention to the most is the platforms, all right?
Yes.
You do not want to stand under those platforms, because if you do, then you're going to die to the purple laser.
Exactly. One of the most popular strategies
they
for
are.
Lotus is to bind. Are they going to go for it so they can cancel out the laser?
Yes.
Yes, they got the Lotus bind, so they don't have to worry about the lasers for the first platform drop, which means they do not have to worry about the platforms.
They can just go. They can go hard and just burst.
Now they want to use as much of their burst off cooldown in this phase as possible to push through into that final phase.
Yeah.
They are still working with enough lines to where they don't need to play it extremely safe, but they should still be mindful as much as possible.
Yeah.
Getting behind Lotus is going to be their best bet at taking him down, as that push is going to separate you from him.
Savix does need to utilize Darkseid in order to cancel out the debris.
Exactly. It looks like they're
pretty
trying to get some poke damage, a little bit space from him so they don't get hit. Now we're back to Team Pink Bean and Damien.
Okay. Sword management, not bad.
Yeah, they're doing a really good job at clearing their debuffs and making sure they're staying on top of those stacks to avoid any additional sword spawning.
Oh. Can they?
All right, now Damon's going to go in. He looks like he's going to dive right, so they have a little bit more movement to the left here to avoid any attacks.
Getting some
Still got to be careful of that flying sword before it lands for the summon. Damien's going to do his fireball in the corner. Thankfully, they get so much movement here and a lot of free space.
Really good sword placement right there, as Damien is doing his hot Cheetos.
Exactly.
Same time.
One of the most crucial strategies of Damien is being able to locate where his sword is going to land on its final landing, essentially, and being able to move it and position it out of the way for more space.
Okay, bind is off, and let's see if and
Yep, now they're going to go for the full burst, make sure they don't get hit by the sword on the edge there.
Yep. Big damage.
Thankfully, Dawn Warrior does have really strong iframes to help them in that situation if they do feel they will get clipped by the sword.
Ooh, that's I don't think that Solar Eclipse final damage did anything. So
yeah, it doesn't seem like the Solar Eclipse went off as much as they were expecting. They do need to do some debuff stack management before they get another sword spawn as well.
Absolutely, yes. Damien with those hot Cheetos on the left side might still be doing them, but we can't see.
We can't see on our end. Okay, so platforms dropping for Team Orange Mushroom on Lotus. They're not going to bind. They don't probably have it available, so they're going to just stay on the platform. And we lose Savix on the side. That is one of the trickiest things from Lotus, is being pushed off the platform and losing a life to the laser.
Absolutely. But as a Nightwalker with Darkseid, he could have just up-jumped and avoided that.
That is true. That is true. Some classes do have the ability to move themselves upwards and avoid if you can time it properly.
Yeah, seems like they are bursting here now. Big damage.
Let's see, is this going to be enough to help them push into P3, give them a little bit more leverage?
Got the final damage off Solar Eclipse as well. Very good.
Yes.
So
Savix is doing a really good job at upkeeping his debuff on Lotus to help for additional final damage, which is extremely important in these fights, especially for the time-limited buff duration.
And we're back to Team Green Slime. You really have to do a good job with managing those blue balls, because like I said, if you stand in those blue balls, you will do only 10% of your true damage.
Yes, so moving those balls out of the way is incredibly important. Oh!
There's a stun. They didn't do enough damage. They did enough damage, okay, so they're not
They
going
do enough
to
damage, they can get through this. Okay, we're back to Orange Team. As they are in...
doing some chip damage. In Dawn Warrior's main attack skill, they do have super...
Okay, so we see one of the first drops. Okay. You need to watch out for those debris, especially the trains. Okay, we have platforms. Let's see if they don't get pushed off. Okay, they're keeping their own. One got pushed. Oh, he landed. Okay, he landed on the platform.
landed on the other platform on the right side to save
Incredibly
him from that
lucky.
laser. You know, sometimes RNG is on your side. But yeah, Stoop should really utilize just, you know, using his Celestial Dance as much as possible.
Exactly.
So he doesn't get knocked back.
Exactly. We're seeing a lot of the small debris, which can add up and stun you for a short duration, so they want to make sure they don't get caught under that. Thankfully, both of these classes do have enough mobility, as we did mention, to help kind of reposition and move.
Savic's doing a little more mini burst there, and Lotus going into his purple ball phase. Make sure to avoid the obstacles on the floor and not die. Okay. All right, and we're back to Team Green Slime.
With Damien, so they've got 3 of the balls forming now, and they need to make sure they can split between them. Now, it's up to the players to decide if they want to work together to try to move them to the other side of the map, or if they're just going to shift and rotate with each other.
Absolutely. If you are doing this boss with 2 or more people, Damien does often he repositions himself back to the left side, so getting those balls over to the right and then quickly jumping over left to do some chip damage is a pretty solid strat.
Okay, so it does look like they're splitting across the map to kind of help even out the mobility. Okay, so they're going to stack in the right corner to see if they can get a reset while Damien is doing more of the fireball. So they're going to stack the 3 in the corner. Now we're back to Team Orange Mushroom on Lotus.
Seems like their burst is ready. Bind is out, and big damage will be done.
Hopefully they can get a lot of value of Solar Eclipse. Okay, and they're not worried too much about the debris. They're having a really good time, actually, with not having
platforms
to worry
are down,
about
though.
it.
Do they notice it? Okay, yes they do. Savix noticed it. They both notice it.
Oh, the debris.
Okay,
No.
the Solar Eclipse
That's
canceled.
amazing.
Canceled out Solar Eclipse for the iframe that it provides as well.
That's incredible. For those that don't know, Dawn Warrior can cancel their Solar Eclipse to get an iframe at the end of it, and they chose to do so, taking advantage of that bonus.
Not dying from the Demolishers, absolutely.
They chose and said, we are not dying here, and we are popping our iframes.
Yeah.
Now, Team Green Sign's back on Damien. They're still trying to do the ball management so that way they can make sure they're not getting a damage reduction.
They only have 2.5 minutes left, but the boss has like, I think 7% HP, so it's extremely doable. They just have to manage these blue balls well.
Yes.
Bursting inside them is not going to do it.
Yes, 2 minutes to be able to take Damien down here.
Yes.
Okay, so they didn't get touched by the fireball there, which is actually quite amazing dodging. They do need to make sure they're careful of their debuff stacks, of course, which is a little bit hard to manage in the P3 of Damien as there's more going on and more just affecting you around you. So it can be a little bit trickier to get the cleanse off, and they were able to do it.
Did get the cleanse off. Yes, absolutely. They really need to manage these blue balls a little bit better. Time is not on their side.
Exactly, so they're going to stack on the corner and reset those blue balls, which is a very important thing for them to do, so that way they can reposition and have a chance to have more space between them and the balls to do that additional damage.
I'm not sure what their cooldown is on their burst, but they just need to bind and just go in there and do something if they want to be able to clear this. All right, Alter has come out. Bajira should take advantage of this.
Exactly, okay.
Having an extra sword at this point in the boss fight is not something that you want.
Yeah, it's a little bit dangerous. They've also
he's
got
at 6
1
right
minute
now.
left on the timer here.
He's at 6 right now, and the brand is coming out in 3 seconds. Will RNG be on their side? Oh, and it was. Ziz got the brand.
And it's
instead.
incredible. Okay, and they were able to get the debuff just in case off cleansing it.
Yeah.
Just in case they don't get that extra sword in the last moment, but they do have 50
50
seconds. They
seconds
have to
left
make the
with-
most of it. They need to do enough damage to Damien here or they're going to get caught.
Oh, wait. Oh, and
and
they
they
did not do
weren't
enough
able
damage.
to do it. Okay, they're going to come back. They still have enough time. Oh, no.
Time is not on their side. They need to just do something.
It looks like they're about at 1% with 25 seconds on the clock left. They can't rush it or they could lose it here.
20 seconds left. Ziz.
Now is the
Damien
moment
going
to
up.
not panic. We are at 13 seconds on the clock.
But those blue balls are not going on
Exactly.
the
The
fast,
damage
so
from the balls are incredible.
5
The
seconds. Looks
reduction.
like they are going to time out here, unfortunately.
And they just barely missed Damien
Ah.
on the scoreboard for Team Green Slime.
It was
That was such a
very
wonderful
close.
attempt, though. You could tell
Absolutely.
that they were both aware of their
Absolutely.
surroundings.
Oh, and back to
All right, back to
Mushroom. Stoops is at 1 life at the moment, with about 25% health left on
One
Lotus.
debris on the far right side.
Okay. Got the purple balls coming out. Very important not to die here.
Yes, they want to avoid. Stoops is still doing a really good job at being able to relocate himself with his dash.
Yes.
The train seemed not to be a problem for them.
Yeah, that is very unfortunate for Team Green Slime. They got to wait another... Well, no, since they ran out the time, they could actually reattempt again if they want to, or move on to a
They
different
could,
boss.
definitely. Okay, there's going to be a train on the far left side. Just having them relocate to the right a little bit. Now they can just loop back left. Now we're going to see the platform drop, so let's make sure they don't get hit off here.
Absolutely.
Damien, or Lotus may try to push them, and they do, but they're okay, and the train is coming down. They were in a perfect position to not have to worry about that train.
I believe they have...
That Lotus push is extremely deadly if caught in the wrong spot on a platform.
Yes. Purple laser's coming. Oh, not sorry. Purple balls.
Okay,
Not
this
to panic
the
here.
state of Lotus can be extremely dangerous during this attack if multiple trains are falling, causing you to have to relocate and sometimes die. You do have 15 minutes, plenty of time, but it looks like Stoops does have 1 life, so they need to be extremely careful with how they play the ending of Lotus here.
Yes. Fortunately for them, that green zone isn't really doing too much to them to affect their performance.
Exactly.
And Stoops is playing literally for his life
Yes.
right now.
We see one train on the far left. Okay, it looks like that's not a problem for them.
Oh, okay. Savix with the bind out. He's going to burst. Can they get this last bit of HP and get out
They do
of
get the
Lotus?
bind on Lotus.
Yeah. Still managing to keep up the debuff on Lotus for that lower defense. Okay, it seems like Team Green Slime is going to change up the strat and go into CRA instead, starting with Queen.
Yeah, see if they can get a higher point value. One of the downsides of dying in Damien and Lotus, or Damien specifically, is you get that higher life count. So it is possible to lose a good sum of points,
I'm not too sure about popping Solar Eclipse there right before the boss is summoned.
but they
because
still have plenty of time to make it back.
that was a DPS loss, unfortunately.
Yes, that is the risk of going for those higher end bosses. They do have a higher point value, but they can be a bit more of a risk.
Ooh, and
Okay,
we
so we
see a
do
death
lose
hit.
one already to Crimson Queen.
Okay. Oh,
And nice, and
clear.
Majira finished it off.
Nice with the Solar Eclipse cancel.
Yes,
And
that was amazing.
Team
That was
Mushroom
amazing. Orange
cleared
team cleared
Purple
Lotus.
Lotus. Let's go.
Amazing.
Stoops hanging on to that 1 life extremely well.
Incredibly well, I must say. That repositioning on those platforms was absolutely incredible.
Unfortunately, no Berserk.
Exactly. They're taking full advantage of their class kits and making sure that they're able to relocate themselves when necessary. Okay, we're going to see Team Green Slime continuing to go in here. They're going to go straight for Pierre.
That was a very clutch kill.
Yes, let's see how well they manage the hats and see if they don't have any issues with it and can just clear a Pierre as fast as possible.
I think they're just going to wait it out here, or some last set, just a little coaching there from Tree, seeing what the plan of attack should be. Maybe they're going to be waiting out their cooldowns in order to be able to burst.
Yes, it seems
Or-
like they
or-
are
or
strategizing.
not.
Okay, so they're going straight into Pierre. Oh, we already got one caught on the hat. Okay, nice. His teammate helped baited it to the side. Nice, Pajero was perfectly right in the middle between both of the hats, didn't get caught.
But they can
Some really good teamwork on both their ends. They're definitely helping each other out as much as possible, which could end up turning things around for them incredibly.
Oh, okay. Ziz in a hat there. Okay, Ziz is red, so you can do additional damage, extra damage to Pierre right
Yes,
now.
so Pierre hat is blue at the moment.
Unfortunately, he also is aggroed by Pierre. So if Bajira had that instead, they would be able to get out a lot more damage.
Yes, exactly.
Ideally, whoever is...
Okay, now they have a different hack on from Pierre, so they are able to do damage now. It will be interesting to see when this team decides to go for the bind. Now remember, as we mentioned, if they choose to lose additional lives, they could reset that hat before the splitting to give them an advantage, but they would lose lives, meaning they would also lose points.
They are both blue here. Would be a good opportunity to bind and burst.
Exactly. Let's see if they choose to do so.
Oh, Ziz did not die.
Okay,
that
okay, that's
teleport
amazing.
From Red Pierre.
Saved a life there.
Yes, yes. Extremely lucky right there.
Incredibly. Okay, so they're just going to wait a moment.
Okay, once again, they both have blue hats. Pierre is red. They could take this opportunity to bind and burst.
Yes, one of the biggest mistakes is rushing Pierre and choking, and it seems they're taking their time, which is really good because they want this to go in their favor. They're waiting for that right opportunity to bind.
Yes, but they only have 30 seconds to act on that.
Yes,
Remember, he will be changing phases, back and forth between red and blue. But
yes,
those hats are completely random that are on top of their heads.
Right now, we're going back to Team Pink Bean on Damien. Damien strikes out in the middle with his sword summon. It looks like we did lose Peter Park. He did die out. Unfortunately, it is up to Blastoise to either leave or continue the fight. And he's going to reset. He's taking that strategy. You know what? On a time-limited event like this, it is incredibly smart to back out while missing a teammate at the point he was. And Team Green Slime took down Pierre.
Let's go. Good job.
Yeah, round of applause for Team Green Slime.
All right, next
Their teamwork definitely paid off there. All right, back to Orange Mushroom on Damien.
All right, just entering Damien.
Okay, Damien's immediately going to do fireballs at the start of the fight, which is totally fine. Maybe they'll want to reposition the sword to a different location to take that advantage or give themselves more space to move.
Savix aggroed by the sword, going to take it into the corner.
All right, Savix did an amazing job at guiding that sword, and they're going to go straight for the bind and the burst.
Doing big damage right now.
Taking full force of the True Sight and the Styx crossing.
Soups choosing to hold Solar Eclipse and not canceling out for that extra damage during.
Yes, their teamwork is impeccable. The way that they're able to move these swords and coordinate those locations, just insanely wonderful. And they're doing a good job at debuff management so far. We'll see if they want to go for the early cleanse or wait for a little bit of a higher stacks.
He did manage to hit Damien while he was up in the air with the Solar Eclipse cancel. So
yes, I don't know about you guys, but I find that to be a really, really professional strat to pull off to be able to make sure you're doing damage to Damien in the air and not die. That is a risk willing to take by some.
Absolutely.
Green Slime is going to go in against Von Bon now.
Thinking of a plan of attack at the moment.
Yes,
just what they want to do.
I love that they're taking this moment and this pause to communicate with each other and find out how they're going to engage.
Yeah. Better to do that than to go in, without a solid plan.
Exactly.
And remember, because this is live, anything can happen at any given moment, so they are making sure they're continuing to communicate at all times.
Exactly. That's incredibly vital for them to make sure they get the right plays of what they're looking for here. So they did go for the bind immediately to get the burst off, just to get the damage right out of the way.
Massive damage.
Oh,
and this did get stuck in an animation. But the boss is almost dead. That burst did quite a lot. He did get stuck in an animation, though.
Yes.
Unfortunately, died to the jump attack. Von Bon is stunned here for a couple seconds here, allowing for extra damage. And he's in his...
Definitely, and they take down Von Bon. Team Green Slime doing an amazing job.
Killing him before seeing any of the final animations.
And it looks like they're going to go to Vellum now.
Yes.
Now, just as a refresher for our audience, Lotus and Damien are 250 points respectively, Vellum 200, Crimson Queen 100, and Von Bon and Pierre also 100. However, Vellum does have a minus 10 point penalty per death, so they do want to pace things carefully here, but that point value is incredibly high, closer to Lotus and Damien.
Yes. Blau and Peter as well, taking their time, communicating, making sure that they have a clear plan of attack for whatever boss they're going to do next. What do you think they're going to do next?
Yes, most definitely. And of course, our teams want to make sure that they.
Oh, and we're going back
oh,
to Team Orange Mushroom with Stoops and Savix. Stoops at 5 stacks right now, though. He's going to have to get that cleanse off, or else you will get an additional sword, and that's not something that you want to deal with.
Yes, exactly. That's going to be a little bit difficult. So it looks like they're going to try to get the cleanse off, which they need to do as soon as possible here.
Nice. Good.
Wonderful.
Oh,
They
nice.
got the cleanse off. This is good.
Yeah.
Damien dashed to the left with a sword on the right. Not a problem for them. They are relocated properly to where they need to be. We're going to see Damien do his dash in the middle. They both dodge it.
And Stoops right here, bursting. Can reach the
Now-
top of Damien with Styx crossing. Absolutely.
Now they can try to jump in the air and do some additional damage on the fireball. Oh, they're getting. Oh no, the
he did
sword
not
was
get
in a
the solar
terrible
eclipse cancel.
location. Yeah, that sword can sometimes come in at the last moment and really mess up your positioning during phases like that.
That is unfortunate. It's going to cost him a little bit. Shouldn't be too much, though. Savix here now, burst.
All right, Damien's going to dash to the left. He's going to catch Stoops. He's okay, though. Got the sword on the left side. Damien is going to dash right into the middle. They're both okay. Now
Applying True Sight again for the lower.
they can cleanse if they choose to, but the fireballs are going to block that objective for them, so they won't be able to do so.
Not quite possible right now. And for Damien, it is 250 points. Lotus and Damien but for Damien, it is a minus 6 point.
Oh, they perfectly located the sword on the right side of the map, so that way they had plenty of movement to move to the left and not have to worry about Damien's dive.
Minus 6 points, penalty for death.
Yeah,
Not
Damien
a
will
bad
have a
vote.
minus 6 point penalty per death here in this fight. So they do get the bind and the burst to go straight off as much as possible here.
Dealing a good amount of damage right now.
Yeah, they are doing a very good job at maintaining as much
That's watch out
damage
for
as they
that
can
sword.
throughout the fight, and they do place the sword on the right. Now we do have the altar. If they do want to cleanse here, they're going to try to get it off. And back to Team Green Slime on Vellum now.
All right. Let's watch their plan of attack right now.
Oh,
what a
no.
very
Okay.
quick death.
That's okay. They lost 10 points, but they still have a chance. Okay, so they do the bind, and they go to cycle for the burst.
You go for the burst.
Nice movie, and avoiding the obstacles as fast as possible.
Vellum is going to. Oh, his Fire Blast comes
Vellum's
out.
gonna. Bajira gets caught in the
Bajira.
fireball from Vellum, which is extremely deadly. Sometimes it's hard to catch.
That is quite unfortunate. But they are at, I believe that is like, what, 75% health?
Okay, Scissoring
They
gets
got
pushed
quite
to
a
the
bit.
right side by Damien coming up, which is totally fine. Sometimes that can push you into one of the stalagmites falling down and can result in a death, but thankfully he was okay from this.
Sometimes
Now,
they
Bajira's-
can push you away from death.
That is also true. Now, Bajira's playing
Like
it
that.
safe and giving a little bit of time on that death timer there for waiting for a moment when he feels it's best to come back.
Yeah. Remember, they do not have Link skill, they do not have Spirit of Freedom. No extra, I mean, they do have 2 second invincibility, but not the full 8 seconds take advantage of when
Exactly.
They do have to be careful though. If they do stay away from him for too long, they could get caught in a fireball animation.
Exactly. So they want to be extremely careful of Vellum's location, always be watching where he's at. So it looks like they're waiting for cooldowns to come back up, which is pretty smart. They're playing the cooldown game here.
Yeah, but
Avoiding the fireballs, that's very powerful.
But Ziz gonna get caught
Ziz
in the
is gonna get caught.
fireballs. He is. You do not want to stay too far away from Vellum for too long, or else you will get caught in that.
Definitely. It's a lot of movement, but also watching where Vellum is and staying in his vicinity.
Hey, Blau and Peter also tackling Chaos Vellum. Oh, okay.
Nice.
Bind
Okay, so they get the
for
bind and they
that.
go for the full burst here.
Very nice. Oh, Vellum doing things on the ground. Does not want to come up, unfortunately. Maybe Blau is lagging. Oh, definitely lagging. Oh. Okay. That was quite unfortunate, but that does put a dent in their burst.
Yes, and the Soul Eclipse has ended for Blastoise, so he Won't be able to take advantage of the ending iframe, but he did get as much use out of it as possible.
That lag, a little unfortunate.
Yes, oh, and Blastoise is caught right in between the middle, but he's able to avoid both of the spikes there from Velum's tail.
Oh,
doesn't get caught in between them, which is actually incredible movement. He dashes out of the way of Velum to make sure he doesn't get caught there either.
Repositioning himself very well. And at this point, just trying to do some chip damage until their burst.
He uses his
up.
dash to close the gap between him and Velum, which is really great because the farther away you are from Velum, the worse it can be for you as well.
Yeah.
All right, back to Team Green Slime. Are they going to be able to avoid this? And they do perfectly well here.
Ziz, unfortunately, at 1 life, he has to really be careful.
Exactly, most definitely.
This final couple percent for the boss. Bind does come off.
They have the bind and they go for the burst.
Coming up.
Bajheera has the Solar Eclipse up.
He does big damage right now from both of them. Oh. Okay, and then on the other side of Velum did not fall into his fireball. Managing the tails well. Make sure not to stand still for too long. Now it seems like they're at the final like third of the fight.
Exactly, and they got as much value out of Solar Eclipse as possible. Oh, he can use the iframe there if he needed as well, which was amazing. That perfect timing was available, but it doesn't seem that he needed to use the iframe there. But having it up for a crucial moment like that is extremely important.
Ziz holding on to dear life right now. It's fine to walk away here. You know, you don't want to get caught in the poison. No pets. Healing can be quite rough, and you do not want to accidentally die.
All right, back to Team Orange Mushroom. Okay, they've
Bean.
back to Pink Bean. They've got the bind on Velum. They're going for the full burst. Close the gap as much as possible.
Yes.
Still 16.5 minutes on the clock, so they have plenty of time here.
All they need to do is just focus up to make sure not to unnecessarily die.
Yes, exactly.
Any of the swords. Fireball does come out.
Oh, Blastoise gets caught there, but Peter Park is able to relocate himself. Take advantage of his iframes.
Peter's Nightwalker door. Proc,
Yes, yes.
causing him not to lose a life, but saving him.
Most definitely. That Dark Servant is incredibly helpful, being able to teleport to those numerous locations, have the setup there if they use it wisely, but can also cause them to die if moved into the wrong location.
Back to Team Green Slime here, Bajheera and Ziz. Bajheera at 2 lives right now. Ziz still holding on to 1.
There is a lot of hope for this team, though, as they are having a lot of patience with their cooldowns and taking their time to be very careful about some of the Moss mechanics here.
Fireball comes out. Ziz avoiding that extremely well. Gotta make sure.
But will that patience pay off for them?
Okay, didn't stand too close to Velum, or else he might have been knocked back into those tails there, so that's really good. Poison coming out. They're gonna are they going to engage, or are they going to...
Okay, so they're able to stand in between both. Oh, they might get caught here by one of the tails. Oh, but Bajheera is able to iframe right through that and end up being completely okay.
Bajheera choosing to engage with Poison out. All right. Velum coming back out again. Fireball should be soon. Hopefully they do know that. And they're on the other side of him, extremely good. Popping some kind of burst here. Oh,
Yep.
and with the bind.
They've got the buff.
Hit the bind, doing as much damage as they can. But they really need to be careful. Another poison coming out. Bajheera getting hit by that. This is in a very sticky situation. Unfortunately, dying out right there.
Now, Bajheera has the choice here if he wants to stay in the fight and make sure he can continue, or he has the option to leave if he chooses to do so and wait for his other teammate. But it seems like he's going to choose to engage with Velum and to see how much value you can get out of it and possibly still take him down.
I think as long as he manages cooldowns well, it's the final third of the fight, he should be able to do it.
Yes, cooldown management will be extremely important here, which we've seen Bajheera do amazing at, timing his Soul Eclipse perfectly for when needed.
No, he's going the wrong way.
Oh,
no,
I
Bajheera.
went back to Team Pink Bean.
Bajheera, no.
Velum is one of the most difficult Chaos Root Abyss bosses, therefore we do have him higher on that point skill value because of so.
Team Pink Bean.
And you can see why here today.
Life with 1. Hit the bind though. Gonna try to do some kind of burst.
Okay, we're seeing a lot of value out of the Rift of Damnation coming from Blastoise, throwing down as much as sticks as possible.
Oh, got knocked back by Velum, but fortunately did not.
He is caught in the
die
stun.
to-
Oh, but he's able to dash out of the way. Incredible.
Dash to.
Oh,
Okay,
and he still gets caught. Blastoise is now dead out of Velum.
that was,
Back to Orange
that
Mushroom
was-
on
that was quite
Damien
unfortunate.
still. They still are in P1 here. Oh, now we go to
Mushroom
P2.
Phasing. Damien going into P2
Wonderful.
with a good amount
Phase
of
2
lives.
of Damien. Now let's see how well this team does at managing the debuff balls that are floating around. They've done a great job at the sword location, and I bet they'll do great here as well.
This is their last boss as well.
That's correct.
This
is the
it.
last boss for
And
Team
they are
Orange
both
Mushroom.
on 9 lives, doing extremely well with their communication.
Definitely. All right, back to Team Green Slime. We still have Bajira going against Velum. Okay, he gets the bind, and he's going to take full advantage of his cooldowns as much as possible.
Needs to be careful here not to get stuck in an animation. Oh,
no.
unfortunately got caught by the tail of Velum.
Oh, and because we had both of them die out, they will unfortunately suffer the maximum point penalty, reducing the total boss's bounty by roughly 50%. It's really dangerous to have both team members die out in a fight here.
And they need to wait out the timer now in order to be able to go back in. All right, but Team Pink Bean here.
We saw Peter Parker. He's going to move all the way right. He's going to avoid. Okay.
Peter knows what he's doing here. Popping.
He's avoiding the Flame Breath, which is absolutely amazing.
Can't stay in the corner for too long, though. He did get stunned. Will he get caught by the tail? He does not get caught by the tail. Velum going to come out here. Okay.
He does still have his summons
all
that
right.
could come into play here if needed.
And we got Poison here. Choosing to engage. A little bit risky. Poison does.
He's being extremely careful with his
lots
movements
of
to make sure he doesn't get
He
caught here.
He needs to make sure that he is topped up as much as possible when facing Poison.
Exactly. That poison can immediately eliminate him from the game if he's not careful.
Yeah. But it seems like he's doing pretty well.
He's saving a lot of his iframes, too, for some incredibly dangerous situations that he could get stuck in, which is a really smart move
Oh,
here.
he got stunned by
Oh,
the
no!
rug and
Oh, man, and he loses it there.
unfortunately gets caught by the tail.
Because of that, he needs to make sure he reapplies his debuff as well, and any other buffs.
Well, they got buff freezers, so they're good. All right. Seems like Peter is bursting here. Got to make sure that he doesn't stand still too much. On 1 life.
Yes, he's still managing some of those iframes, which is still really useful.
Fireball coming out. Dodge that well. Hit the bind.
Hit the bind,
Avoids
amazing,
the
so now he can do
tails.
his burst.
And now he's hitting the burst.
Yes, he's going to make as much value out of Rapid Throw as possible.
That was a really good signal event for him. Oh, Velum animation canceling though. What is he going
Being able to
do?
lock Velum there in place as a Nightwalker and be able to use Rapid Throw as much as possible is benefiting him to the best of his situation.
Might be.
Now we're back to Team Orange Mushroom on Damien.
All right, doing extremely well. Seems like
We have
he's
one
not
Alter up with
bursting.
only 3 debuffs.
they
Oh,
are
and then we
both
also got 3 on
bursting.
Stoops.
Ooh, okay. Unfortunately, the final attacks there from Savix, he did get stuck in that blue ball, causing him to only do 10%.
Yes, unfortunately, looks like Stoop wasn't able to make much out of the Rift of Damnation. He didn't get the full amount of value that he could have.
Could choose to engage, yes. Oh, I don't know about that. He could have chose to engage, canceled Solar Eclipse to get a little bit more damage out there.
It's true, but it is a risky play, and it may be okay for them to take the safe edge here. They do have Alter up if they do want to try to cleanse, but they are low on stacks, so it is up to them to see what they choose. Damien is going to dive left, and then dash to the right, and then back to the left.
We really need to see how well they manage these blue balls.
Yes, so it looks like... Okay, so it looks like Stoop has aggro on both of them. He is going to get the cleanse. He does, thankfully. Maybe Savix will try to go for the cleanse as well, but we will have to see. Both of the debuff balls are in the middle at the moment.
At this point, just trying to do as much.
Savix is going to bait the ball to the right, while Stoops is able to get in as much DPS as possible.
That was really nice. Oh, okay. Stoops pulling out 6 crossing for the iframe, but unfortunately
Gets
getting hit
caught.
by the ball again and dying out. Oh, just dying. But that wasn't a bad idea.
Exactly.
He just popped his sticks a little too early.
Yeah, so back to Team Green Sun. They are taking down Damien now. Damien did dive into the middle.
Choosing to re-engage Damien.
We only have one D-Bat stock here. He is going to dash to the right. Okay, now we're going to see him do the fireballs again and see if they're going to try to get any DPS in the air. Looks like Zizaran is going to try to take advantage of iframes. Now Team Pink being on Lotus.
Decided to go into Lotus. I think what Blau really needs to do is take
so it looks like
of his Equinox slash here in P1 in order to dodge the lasers.
Exactly. It looks like they're going to try to take the portals as their main advantage here rather than using iframes and dashing. Oh, we did lose Peter Park, unfortunately, to one of the lasers.
That's from Peter there.
Wonderful. Blastoise is getting as much advantage out of his Rift of Damnation as possible to spam the sticks crossing, having no cooldown.
Choosing to cancel out Solar Eclipse, could have went through the laser instead, but he's choosing, I guess, the safer route and going around.
Yes, exactly.
It's also really important not to use Moon Dance here. Because going up and down will cause you to
and we
jump into
did
those
lose
lasers.
Blastoise again. However, if you do notice here, our Blastoise
choosing to use his mobbing combination rather than his main bossing one, because if he does use his bossing combination, he will, unfortunately, he might die.
Right, but as an interesting strategy to get rid of the mobs on the map. Okay, so we're back to Team Orange Mushroom on Damien. They do get the bind here during his fireballs, and they're going to go straight in for the bind.
The blue ball's getting, the blue ball's aggroed onto Savix, leading Stu to do immense damage here.
Yes, he's able to get as much value from Rapid Throw as possible. And we still see some more effect from Rift of Damnation, most definitely. That recharge on the sticks crossing is absolutely insane, and they're still getting DPS out of it.
They are managing these blue balls extremely well, trying to get as much damage out as possible.
Yes, Damien does dive in the middle, but they are able to readjust, moving the debuff balls to the right side.
I think Damien animation canceled there. I'm not too sure what was going on there, but what I do know is that Savix does need to cleanse.
Yeah, Savix is, okay, he does able to get the cleanse off, which is amazing. No additional swords for their team.
Yep, all right.
Back to Team Pink Bean and Lotus, still P1 here. They're trying to clear out the mobs to make sure they don't get any of those debuffs and slow down.
Mob management is very crucial in P1. You do not want to get reversed or stunned, locked, anything really.
Most definitely.
Because then that's all you need.
Oh, we just lost Peter Park again.
Something going on Peter's
So we don't see the same strat here with Equinox Slash to get that iframe and kind of move in the middle there, which is fine. They want to play with the portals, but that helps them get rid of the mobs at the same time.
Absolutely.
So there are pros and cons to that playstyle of sitting in the middle or taking portals.
Blau should be using True Sight a little bit more. Should be using True Sight a little bit more in order to lower the enemy defense.
That is true. True Sight would definitely give them an advantage there. Okay, so they do get the Damien sword to the right side.
Oh, okay. Solar Equinox final cancel.
Damien diving to the right. Perfect positioning. They could just move to the left.
Getting some good damage in here.
Yes.
That was a good sequence right there.
Only 2 stacks on Zizaran so far, so they don't have really too much to worry about. As long as they keep that positioning of the sword, they won't have too many issues when trying to cleanse.
Yeah. Oh, you're getting hit by the dive, but fortunately, it's not too much of a problem. Oh, but what is the problem?
So they do get the sword in the middle there. It looks like Vegira's going to try to get some extra DPS and get the cleanse in.
All right, Ziz with the cleanse, eliminating those hot Cheetos.
Who needs hot Cheetos when you have iframes, am I right?
Okay, just missed the bind.
Oh, that's unfortunate. The sword is on the altar, which just blocked them from being able to cleanse, which can be a huge fault if you are at high stacks, but they are okay in this instance. And we did lose a life from Zizaran once more.
What's a bit interesting is the Nightwalker players not utilizing their backdash as much as they probably should.
That's true. That relocation could really help them.
Oh, and...
Well, it looks like we're having some technical difficulties. Please hold on with us for a moment while we sort out these issues. We appreciate your patience, though.
Oh.
All right, now we're back with Team Orange Mushroom on Damien.
They have less than 10% health here. 7 minutes on the clock.
Yes.
Blue ball management
Ow.
will be extremely important here. In order
They also
to
have 3
not
debuff
time out.
balls. Savix is trying to relocate them so Stoops can get full advantage of his
Savage
bind and burst.
at 6 stacks though, and got
Now they
hit
need to
with
do enough
the,
damage to Damien to get out of this,
reverse.
or they're going to lose a life on the spot. Can he do it? Can Stoops do it?
he's not gonna be able to get that. Oh,
Oh, we did lose
and now they have the
Savix.
sword. Savix did get max stacks there, unfortunately, causing an extra sword to spawn. That is the last thing you want at the very end of a fight, especially
Exactly.
with 6 minutes left.
And the more debuff balls they have there, the more harder it's going to get for them. But they are doing good teamwork at being able to separate those.
Okay. Yeah, still doing pretty well with managing the blue balls. You know, as long as it's on one person, they can keep it in the corner while the other person does as much damage as possible.
I did notice that they traded off here. Stoops did take the ball into the corner this time with Savix taking aggro on Damien, focusing the damage. They might be swapping for cooldowns here.
Sword placement.
Stoops has most of his cooldowns available while Savix does not, so it does look like they are trying to take a switching rotation.
Could have been a little bit better, but that's fine. Yes, they are going back and forth on like whoever has the blue balls on them.
That's a really interesting strategy to take turns bursting.
Well, rather than risking both your bursts and potentially only doing 10% of your damage,
That's
you'd
true.
rather have one person, you know, maximize.
That's true, and it's strategy like that that could put Team Orange Mushroom in the lead.
They're well on their way.
On their way. Now we're back to Team Green Slime. Okay, they do have the altar in the middle. If they are going to try to get the cleanse off, it looks like it was blocked by the sword.
They hit the bind, but it resisted, so unfortunately it did not wait out that 90 seconds in order to be able to bind the boss again.
Exactly. Now we do have the sword in the middle, which looks like it's not too much of a problem for them, as Bajira is still able to hit the hitbox from the other side.
Able to hit Damien from there with sticks.
Yeah, Bajira said hitboxes are not a problem for me, still being able to hit through the side of the sword, and they're going to get a cleanse off. Careful not to cleanse on top of each other. That could be extremely dangerous.
Yes. But that sword, you know, giving them a bit of a hard time trying to cleanse.
Exactly. Yep, so once again, Bajira is going to be able to stay on the other side of the sword, still hit the hitbox there, not have to worry too much about it, while Zizaran takes more of an upfront approach, as his range is a bit smaller on the hitbox there. Okay, so Bajira's going to try to get the cleanse off here, and he does get it, thankfully.
Nice.
Damien did dive to the right, giving them plenty of positioning to not worry about the cleansing.
This is just trying to get as much damage out as possible, popping his burst. Damien sliding all over the floor, apparently.
Yep. All right, Damien dived in the middle, but it wasn't a problem. They relocated very easily without any issues. Oh, Team Pink Bean is having a hard time with the fireballs here, it looks like.
Oh.
Thankfully, it is still P1 for them, and they are in the beginning, so they're not really missing much here. They do have Altar if they do decide to cleanse those 2 debuff stacks.
A little bit dangerous there. Let's see how well they manage to lure the sword into the corner.
Exactly. Okay, so they get the sword. Oh, unfortunately on top of the altar, so they can't take advantage.
But they can still cleanse. They still have enough room to be able to cleanse.
That is true. That is true. And Damien did dive into the middle of it. Oh, but he is going to do the fireballs, unfortunately, and they missed the chance to cleanse, but it doesn't look like they really need to here. Back to Orange Mushroom on Damien as well. They're going to relocate the debuff balls to the left side of the map.
3 minutes left. Got the bind off. Can they manage to get the blue balls off of them? I'm not too sure.
That damage debuff is pretty rough.
They are both on it, and they were not able to capitalize on that bind.
Exactly. Now they're both at a low amount of stacks. Okay, they are going to get the cleanse. All right, Stoops does get the first cleanse here. Now we're going to see if Savix is going to try to get the cleanse.
Savix does need to get.
Or I apologize, other way around. Stoops still has debuff stacks on him, and Savix was able to get a cleanse.
No, Savix needs a cleanse.
Okay, Damien did dive mid, wasn't a problem. Savix was able to divert the debuff balls to the other side of the map, so Stoops could get damage.
At 5 now. At 6 with the altar despawning. 15 seconds.
Yes.
Will RNG favor them?
All right, Stoops has cooldown, so Savix is going to redirect the debuff balls to the other side, so Stoops can probably get his burst off here.
5 seconds here. He does not have enough time to cleanse. Let's see.
Oh, Stoops does get caught. Can he do the? Can he do it?
Savic's got this.
All right, he beat the rhythm
stack.
game of Damien.
Unfortunately, having an extra sword here in P2 with
It's a
these
little
blue
bit
balls
rough.
out, with 2 minutes left, that's the last thing you want to see here.
All right, so Damien's on the left side doing Fireball. Sword is in the middle, unfortunately on the altar, so they can't cleanse. But at this point, they just need to wrap it up as they only have 1 minute and 26 seconds left on the clock. They need to take full advantage of the damage that would be coming up from Savix soon here, as Stoops has already used his burst.
At this point, you know, it's really hard to manage those blue balls. So
Most definitely, and unfortunately, the altar is still in the middle there. They can get that opening.
Binds are extremely important as well, because if Damien's going to keep moving around, time is going to keep ticking, and they will eventually time out.
Yes, it looks like Savix is just about to have his entire burst up here. Let's see if he's able to take advantage for the last minute of the boss fight. Oh, and unfortunately, Damien did do fireballs, decreasing the time there. Now they are farther away from him.
Eclipse. Can he do something with this, though?
Stoops is going to hold the ball. It looks like
Okay. He did get
they're both going to try to get out of that, and they got it. They did it.
Solar Eclipse final cancel.
Yes. That was
And
amazing.
Team Orange Mushroom has cleared all the bosses.
Ladies and gentlemen, keep in mind they only had about 30 seconds on the clock left before cleaning up Damien. They're an incredible play to make sure they lock it in.
Very clutch
The
kill.
Solar Eclipse made sure they finalized that play.
Yeah. All right, back to Team Green Slime here. Vegeta and Ziz doing pretty well. Boss is about 40%, so they got a couple more percent to go in order to be able to phase it.
Yup.
Ziz here bursting right now, popping everything he's got.
Nice. Amazing.
Damien just teleporting all over the place.
Damien was doing
like
some
he-
silly stuff there.
like
he did
he
end up moving
does.
himself to the side. Now he is in the middle. All right, they have the altar on the right side, but Damien's going to do Fireball. They're going to get a cleanse off on Bajira, which is great. He's going to get hit. Okay, no, he's good. He's good.
Okay, yep, he's got an up jump. Oh,
Oh,
okay.
but he's having a little bit of a hard time with the Fireball.
No, he uses sticks to get out of that situation using the iframe from that.
Yeah, the iframe really helped them relocate there. They unfortunately didn't get the cleanse off, though, because Bajira was getting poked by the damage.
Yeah. Ziz does need to get a cleanse off here.
For those that don't know, any damage interruption will stop a cleansing on the altar, meaning you cannot remove those debuff stacks and you have to reset the timer. Unfortunately, they may not be able to reach the range of the altar on the sword here. Damien will dash to the right.
Ziz getting through that brand, trying to just do as much chip damage as possible in order to get to P2.
All right. So Zero is going to try to get the cleanse here with his 3 stacks. He might be, okay, he got the cleanse.
Yep. The sword focus.
All right, but Jiro was able to bait the sword to the left side of the map, which gives them a lot more movement. Damien does dash to the right, no problem for them.
And they will continue their chip damage. Vegeta looking like he's ready to burst here.
Yes, okay. Damien is going to dash to the left once again. Bajira moves out of the light, relocating himself, no problem. He does have Solar Eclipse, so he needs to use the iframe if he needs to. Damien dashes to the left.
Bajira at 4 stacks. Should take the opportunity to cleanse.
And once again, we're able to see Bajira take full advantage of the Rift of Damnation, giving him that 6 crossing CD reset and charge, meaning he can still get damage in with that damage range.
Oh, choosing to greed for more damage instead of cleanse.
Yeah, you gotta
now
be
he's
careful.
suddenly at 5 stacks.
All right,
With
sword does
a
land in the
potential
middle.
6 coming in. No, I think Ziz got that. Okay.
All right, now we're going to see if Bajira's going to try to cleanse here. He's unfortunately blocked by the sword, which is a little bit rough. He is at 6 stacks.
5.
5 stacks, okay.
He needs to make sure not to get hit by anything else. Ooh.
Oh, and he does get caught there, unfortunately.
Going back to Team Pink Bean here, having 2 swords at the moment.
All right, Damien is doing his fireballs in the very far left corner. 1 sword in the middle, which is fine. They can give him a moment to reset, wait for Damien to come back down.
2 swords spells disaster in people.
Yes, most definitely. 2
This-
swords. Oh, man, now you get to
This-
see it in
this-
action.
This can get extremely overwhelming.
Very
Extremely
messy.
fast.
Very messy, very quickly.
Oh, and we see Blau
We
there.
do lose Blastoise to that, unfortunately.
Okay, Peter just popping everything, trying to do as much damage as possible, bursting it up. Oh, hit the bind though. Good.
Yup. Sword placement is pretty decent. They're able to get. Oh no! Okay, the other sword landed down, but it's totally
okay,
fine.
Peter did not die there. He was was able to get out there just in time. Peter also at 4 stacks, so he should be thinking of cleanse here.
Yes, Peter was close enough to get as much of his rapid throw damage off as possible, while also making sure to upkeep his debuff on the boss for the additional damage.
Oh, but getting hit by that sword, though, interrupting the cleanse.
Yes. Now, because Damien does have more lives, or more lives to the players in this fight, it is less of a point value for dying here. They only lose 6 points per death, but that can still add up pretty quickly.
Yes.
All right, so they're going to go for the burst. Blastoise does have his Solar Eclipse up.
I'm trying to get as much damage out as possible. Unfortunately,
Okay, Damien is going to dash to the right. Not a problem. They do have the altar there. They're not going to take advantage right now because they are in the burst. They don't want to lose DPS for cleansing.
Yeah. Okay, and we have Team Green Slime now going into P2.
Oh no, the altar was caught in a really bad position with the fireballs of Damien. Hopefully Bajira's going to be okay, and he is in that corner.
Bajira is at 5 stacks right now. He really needs to get a cleanse off.
Yeah, he needs to get that cleanse off immediately. We've already seen what 2 swords can do for
Just
players.
canceling all
Causing
that damage.
too many issues.
Really good for him being able to avoid taking damage from the...
Yes, exactly.
all right, Bajira.
All right, Damien dives in the middle, doesn't get any kills off of it.
Okay, hit the bind.
Thankfully, they got the bind perfectly. They only have 1 buff D-ball, which is totally okay.
That is fine. The blue ball coming towards Bajira, though.
Bajira,
Taking turns to burst. That wasn't too bad.
yes. Once again, the Rift of Damnation or the Styx Crossing cooldown, and it does cancel out of it.
Bajira.
Thanks to that death, unfortunately. Damien does dive middle, doesn't get any kills off of it.
Oh, and there goes Ziz. Trading deaths there. At 4 stacks. Gonna be able to get the cleanse off. Nice. Yeah, I think for P2 here, what's really important is to be able to coordinate and communicate with your partner on how to manage those blue balls.
Definitely. The debuff is incredible. It is going to lower so much of the damage on the boss. The team coordination here is extremely important to make sure that doesn't happen. And now we can take a look at the scoreboard here. Oh, wow. Okay, Team Pink Bean and Green Slime are tied, but Orange Mushroom in the lead with 1,000 points so far. They've defeated every boss.
Every boss. 132 points deducted for Orange Mushroom.
Now, folks, you can see here the point reduction. This comes from team deaths. This is how much this can sway the game and affect their point balance. Now you're seeing that in action.
Yeah. Team Green Slime, not that many points deducted.
Yes, now remember, they didn't defeat those bottom 3 bosses yet with Vellum and Lomian, which means they can still go back for them. All right, it looks like Team Ping Ping is on Damien here.
Yes, popping some birds. Oh, unfortunately.
Oh, and he gets caught. Unfortunately, it was on top of the altar. All right, Peter's going to play it safe, not try to get poke damage with the fireballs here, paying close attention.
Little hard to engage right now. Damien gonna go dashing to the left. Getting hit both by that. And at this point, just trying to get as much chip damage as possible, making sure that the swords are not in.
Yes, Damien dives to the right.
Quite an impressive dive.
Now Damien is dashing to the left. They do have the altar in the middle. If they do choose to cleanse here, Damien is going to do fireballs on the left side. Let's see where the sword lands, if they're going to reposition it its location. Okay, Blastoise does a good job at being able to move it to the side. Oh, and perfect, wonderful. He's got the location the exact way he wants it. Peter Park is getting poke damage while Blastoise is relocating that sword.
Really utilizing Darkseid in order to not take any damage.
Exactly. They do have the altar here if they want to cleanse. Damien does dive to the left, doesn't get any picks off of it.
And he's doing as much chip damage as possible. Sorry. Oh, and back over to Team Green Slime. Guys, this
Yes.
here in
So they got the bind. They're going, or not the bind, sorry. They're going for the burst here. Damien is going to do the fireballs. Doesn't look like they're going to try to bind him out of the air, but they're going to get the first cleanse off. So Bajira loses his 4 stacks, which is fantastic.
Jira does have his burst. Ziz still needs to wait a couple more seconds in order to get back up.
Yes,
They
let's
might want to time it up.
Yes, they may follow the same strat as Team Orange Mushroom here, where they're able to swap off the burst, take turns.
Yep. And making sure that they manage that blue ball.
9 minutes on the clock, but plenty of time in phase 2. They do have the fireballs. They are going.
They tried to bind, but it resisted again.
Yes, unfortunately, if you try to bind before that bind timer is off reset, you're unfortunately going to miss a bind.
And missing a bind in P2 is not something that you want to do.
But fortunately, both classes do have a bind they can take advantage of here.
Yeah, they are just trying to get as much damage out as possible, though. You know, just using their burst. They got 9 minutes left to go here. Will they be able to pull it off? Live management is pretty solid, though. You're at 8, Ziz at 6. 2 blue balls out now.
Okay, so they do have still an altar in the middle if they choose to cleanse. It looks like they're not going to divide up the debuff ball here, but they are weaving through them to get as much DPS in as possible.
Okay. Ziz just making it.
Jira's going to play it safe. Zizaran is going to try to get some more poke DPS damage here during this ball phase here.
Good damage from Bajira right there, utilizing 6 crossing.
Yes, it takes a lot of skill to be able to make sure you weave through those attacks and get additional DPS in between to help their timer.
So that with Damien just moving around way too much in this phase, hitting those binds is extremely crucial.
Exactly. They reset the ball to the right side. Damien did dive in the middle. He didn't get any picks off of it. Thankfully, they have high stacks. They do need to cleanse as soon as possible. They have altar available.
They are both at 4.
If they choose to do so.
Ooh, and could not get the cleanse off, unfortunately. Let's see what happens.
Okay, they are on opposite sides, so they aren't able to reset the ball on the same type, but Bajira was able to reset on the left side.
Altar is up.
Okay, Bajira tries to get the debuff. He does get interrupted. Unfortunately, he's going to try again here. And Bajira gets the... Oh, no! The altar disappeared at the last second.
They're having a hard time.
You know how painful that is, man.
They're having a hard time
1 second
cleansing
away
those
from a
stacks,
cleanse,
yes.
and that altar just relocates.
Yep. Oh, and Ziz there failing the DDR.
Oh,
but not in
no.
any immediate danger because
Oh.
the blue balls aren't anywhere near him. Bajira unfortunately dying right there. Though.
If you get stuck there in that little mini game, you're pretty much
Ziz
going to
at
be
6
stuck.
stacks though. 4 seconds for the next brand. Will RNG be on their side?
Possibly. Okay, but Jira's going to try to get the
Unfortunately,
cleanse
no.
off. He does,
Jira got the
thankfully.
cleanse, but now they have an extra store to deal with.
Yes, Damien did die. Didn't get any damage off, thankfully.
And as, again, one of the last things you want to see here in
Ooh,
this phase.
Zizur needs to relocate himself. Oh, he did get stuck, unfortunately. Oh, no, and it was too late. Not much he could have done in that situation.
No. You got
This
hit.
is the
got
phase
hit
where
with
things
the
get
DDR
hectic.
and
That
the
is for
sword.
sure.
Too many things stack up in this phase, and it's gonna go down.
Yes.
Okay. Waiting a couple more seconds here. I guess they're just trying to get up, their burst. I think they really understand that they need to get off a really solid burst bind.
Yes, exactly.
Be
It's
able
going
to
to be
pull this off.
extremely important for them to be able to come into play here. They're looking pretty good on debuff stacks at the moment. Zizaran is a little bit higher.
Okay. Oh, and
Back to Team Pink Bean.
Peter and Blau still.
Now remember,
taking on
Green Slime
phase
is
1.
done here, so it's going to be Orange Mushroom versus Team Pink Bean, mostly facing off in the last few bosses. Okay, they do have the altar if they want to cleanse. Okay, it looks like the cleanse was interrupted on Blastoise's side. Peter Park's going to try to get it. He does it. Oh,
they're
they
both chasing.
almost-
They're
yeah.
both chasing after the cleanse.
Yep, Blastoise, they almost passed the stacks to each other, which would have been a little bit harmful.
You want to make sure that you do not try to cleanse on top of your party member.
Exactly.
Or you will be passing those stacks.
Blastoise did get interrupted on his cleanse, so he's going to try again. He did get caught, unfortunately, in the mid-game. He did fail, so
failed
he
the
now has a
DDR too.
long stun. A lot of people know that that stun is very lethal if you get stuck too long.
Yes, but not in any immediate danger because the sword was already planted on the left side.
Exactly. Thankfully, Damien dashes to the right, relocating himself. Blastoise at 4 stacks, needs to cleanse as fast as possible here.
Gonna get interrupted though by the sword.
Oh,
Unfortunately,
oh.
they can't do anything in that situation.
Yeah, Sword is going to block them from being able to get that cleanse. Now he's at 5 stacks, which is dangerously close to 7.
How close? Altar up.
Awesome.
Blau
Right, Sword
is
is
gonna
going to
be able to get off.
Land in the
this fight.
middle. Peter Park is using his iframe.
Trying to get
getting as much value, making sure to apply Shadow Bite and Rapid Throw as much as possible to get a much value there. Blastoise does have Solar Eclipse up and available. Damien is going to dash to the left.
choosing not to pop Rift of Damnation. Dashing through the brand.
Both on low stacks, so they don't really have to worry about stack management there. Damien is going to do his Fireball to the left side with swords in the middle, and they are able to just kind of give themselves space from Damien to take a break and reset.
Okay. Blau should be a bit closer to the boss with that Solar Eclipse canceled.
So we do have Altar available if they do decide to cleanse, but they're just going to get some extra poke DPS in here. Okay, so they are going to get the extra damage. Damien's going to dash to the right.
Not able to get the cleanse off because of the sword. But as much chip damage as possible. Damien diving to the left. The sword is still trying to find its way down. And not much they can do here.
Yes, most definitely. So Damien is on the far right, so they have a lot of space here. We do have the Altar on the right. I believe it's Blastoise here with 4 stacks, so they want to be careful of that management.
Yeah, hopefully...
Okay, he got interrupted on the cleanse, and unfortunately the Altar did move itself. He relocated himself to be a little bit closer to Damien.
Okay, they still have enough time, but they do need to manage this sword well.
They do. It looks like Blastoise has cooldowns.
Top of, and the sword on top of the altar. Unfortunately, not going to be able to get the cleanse
Yes,
off.
that could be
Blau,
risky.
6.
Oh, he's at 6 stacks.
Okay, he avoided the death from the sword. Okay.
Okay,
That's
okay.
6, but he avoided death.
Okay, that's extremely
okay.
powerful for him there. In that moment, he needs to get that debuff off now before they get another sword.
He's got 4 seconds. Is RNG on their side?
Okay, Blau is going to go for it. Can he get the cleanse?
Yes, he can get the cleanse off here, and he does.
Perfect, he got the cleanse off. And thankfully didn't pass to Peter, who is a little bit nearby.
Thankfully, Peter got that brand and not him.
Yes.
They would have had another sword to deal with. Peter is at 4 now, though.
Yep, at 4 stacks.
A little
with Altar
high.
in the middle if they need to.
He's definitely going to want the cleanse.
Looks like Damien is about to dash. Yup, okay, Blau sees that and moves as soon as he can.
And they hit the bind. Big damage here. Will they be able to face him and get into P2? Time is not on their hands. Only less than 10 minutes left. Still
Most
in
definitely.
P1.
Sword is unfortunately on the Altar. It looks like they might be able to cleanse on the corner. No, no, definitely not.
No.
Definitely not. Too risky of a play there. Now Blastoise is back to 4 stacks. He does have Altar available, but he's going to get poked. And the sword, unfortunately, oh no. Once again, you got to be careful of the sword landings. You can block your chance to cleanse at an Altar if you do mess that up.
Oh, back to Team Green. Slime looks like Ziz is out of lives. Bajheera finding himself at a minute and 20 left. I believe they got like 4% HP left. This is going to be tough.
Most definitely. Let's see how they handle the ball debuff here, if they're going to try to split or they're just going to both go in for additional poke DPS. All right, Damien is in the air fireball. They're going to take this chance to reset.
It doesn't look like Bajheera has his cooldowns up either.
Bajheera unfortunately has 60 seconds here on the clock to try to confirm this kill.
Gonna get another brand, 4 out of 7. Damien dashing over to the right. Dealing damage in those blue balls is not going to help his chances.
Yeah, that debuff from the damage is going to be very detrimental to add some extra DPS here, especially when trying to close that gap as a solo left in this boss fight on the last phase.
Okay, did use Styx Crossing there as some kind of buy for him to get out of that situation. Finding himself at 5 stacks, 20 seconds left.
Yes, and
Can he pull it off?
To reset those balls as much as possible to the right side of the screen.
He's gonna need to get a cleanse off too. I don't know. Doesn't get a cleanse off, like he will just die and spawn, die to stacks.
Yes, it's
but
looking a little bit grim. He's got 6
5
seconds
left.
Unfortunately. And he may fall here, which will result in a penalty, a point deduction for the team wipe, unfortunately. They did do their best, and you could definitely see the teamwork playing out here.
Yeah. Is this trying to figure out which secondary and emblem to use?
Yes.
You have to make sure you're using the right one. Okay, and unfortunately, they They do have to. Oh no, they timed out, so they can choose to re-engage into Damien. Going back into Team Pink Bean, still on Damien.
Oh, the sword did land on the altar, but it's okay. The altar reset anyways. They're more worried about survivability here than cleansing, which is very crucial.
Damien going to be dashing over to the right here. Not going to be able to get a cleanse off there, but Blau popping Rift of Damnation. Just trying to get as much damage in as possible. Time is not on their side. 7 minutes left with about like 20-something%. They're trying to push into P2 here.
Hello. All right, we are joined here by Coach Mimi for Team Orange Mushroom.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
So we have some questions for you today. So what was your guys' biggest strategy for your team tackling down these bosses? Was there a specific order you had in mind, or what would you set up for them?
I initially thought that they would start with Lotus and then do the CRAs and then finish with Damien. And if they might, if they happen to wipe in Lotus, they would just they could rerun at some point in between the CRAs. But then because of how the buffs worked, the sparklings and the red star potion, it was just better for them to do the full CRA first.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I have a really particular question for you. I did notice from this team the synergy there with Stoops and Savix. They were able to rotate those cooldowns very well in Damien and manage the ball debuff split. Was that something you taught them?
I don't think so. They practiced a lot. They practiced so much
Okay.
off stream. They were absolute troopers.
That's awesome. Yeah, I wasn't expecting to kind of see that strategy, and that was really interesting to see that like develop throughout the boss fight, for sure.
Overall, how do you feel about your team's performance?
They did really well. They kind of choked a bit on Damien. They kind of choked a bit on Damien, but it's also a boss that we didn't really get to practice that much.
Right.
And,
Okay.
They said that when they practiced together, it went a lot better. I think today was just a weird Damien run.
Okay, that makes sense.
Fair enough.
Now the answer might be similar to what you just mentioned, but during practice, what was the most difficult boss that your team faced? The hardest challenge, the hardest boss to learn?
I think they struggled the most with Lotus.
With Lotus, okay.
I
Was
think
it
so.
in any particular phase or just everything?
P1, phase
P1.
one.
Oh,
Okay.
but they played P1 extremely
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, looks like they
Especially
refined it.
Stoops like using Equinox Slash to get through those lasers.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
did really
most
good.
definitely.
Mhm.
Most definitely.
So they learned pretty fast.
Yeah. What was your strategy going into just the overall practice, right? Because starting from scratch and teaching players that are brand new to MapleStory some really difficult bosses, did you have any strategy on your side as a coach or mentality of like, this is how I'm going to teach them? Because it can be hard when they're brand new to the game, right? So you've got to explain things from a more... Did you start simple? Did you dive straight in?
I wrote them a 50-page long guide.
Wow. And they read it, I'm assuming.
They didn't read all of it, because
Okay.
obviously it's 50 pages.
Okay.
But I did a summary of every single boss mechanics and their attacks. And a summary, I spent at the end of the document, I summarized Dawn Warrior and Nightwalker.
Wow, that's
Okay,
amazing.
That
Wow.
was
Yeah.
a lot of preparation to come into this.
I indicated their burst rotation and their off burst rotation. Everything was just included in there. I think Savix actually looked at it a bit more. Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing.
All right.
Did you teach them a lot about maintaining their iframes and what specific skills they need to use in key moments?
I think they managed to figure that out on their own. They practiced
Okay.
so much off stream, it's insane. They were always playing. They were really into it.
Awesome. Okay.
That's good. You want to see them, put in that effort, and it really showed today.
Most
Yeah,
definitely. Yeah.
I'm super proud of them. They're amazing. I don't even know if they can hear me or they're just at the back.
That is absolutely incredible. Yeah, your coaching has definitely well paid off, I can see. And of course, the effort that they put into that extra practice definitely made a difference for them, as we can see them already be in the lead and do so incredibly well on these bosses. But that's all for today. Mimi, thank you so much for letting us
you.
interview you on this. And thank you. Your team did
Congratulations to
amazing.
your team.
Congrats.
Thank you.
All right, going
All right,
back
folks, we are
into
back.
Team Green Slime. It looks like they're up against Vellum right now.
Yes, they're going to
Both at
try to
3
take that
lives.
on Vellum. So it looks like both party members have full cooldowns. They may just be waiting for a bind here before they decide to burst. Damien is, sorry, Vellum is going to do his Fire Breath here, but they are able to avoid it. They had plenty of a head start.
Yeah, they're already in the final 30% of the boss fight. Ooh, both taking a death there, staying a little too long in the corner, getting hit by the tail.
That's going to cost them 10 points each.
And I believe this is on a retry as well, so...
Yes, this is a second run, so they are going to have a penalty on the points that they can redeem.
Oh, and both getting caught into
and another
fireballs.
Unfortunately, we can see the disappointment from Bajira, but we know he's trying here to avoid a lot of these attacks that can be very critical.
They are communicating with each other, so let's hope they can pull this off together.
We can definitely see the communication coming to play here. Bajira's playing very smart, taking his time and not rushing a respawn.
But they are both at 1 now. They're back against the wall.
Yes, back against the wall here. They need to clean it up as fast as possible. They have cooldowns available. They just need to see how they're going to use them. We're waiting for that ripe opportunity.
This has about like 15 seconds left. I believe Bajira does have his cooldowns up, so... Oh, and the bind comes off.
They do get the bind. You got Solar Eclipse available now.
This is also going to come and engage.
Yes, we do get the full map attack from Zizaran as well.
But they need to make sure not to get stuck into the animations too much.
Yes.
Bajira did get knocked back, but avoided fatality.
Yes, that Dominion from Zizaran is able to give them more final damage on Vellum.
Cracked Solar Eclipse there. More damage. Avoided death. Almost dead. Vellum's almost dead. They just need like another 2 hits.
Yes, most definitely. And we did see Bajira get a lot of DPS. He's still trying to get the poke in there while his Rift of Damnation is still available.
But it does seem like they will pull this off.
Ooh, Vellum may be on the other side of the map here, which can be extremely dangerous.
Tossing those fireballs, you do not want to engage.
Rule of thumb, you don't see Vellum, you start running.
The other side.
In his direction. Okay, so Vellum does poke up here. He might do fireballs.
Oh, he already did, so he won't be able to.
Okay.
He won't do it anytime soon. But he might do a poison. Or choose a side. Oh, he's choosing left. Okay, deep breath coming in.
Is he going to make it? Oh, okay.
Hopefully. All right, well,
back to Team Beam. We still see
Blau
Park here. Oh, he just timed out?
Timed out.
Oh, man. That is a huge penalty on Damien for the timeout there.
Okay, okay, and they're re-engaging. Fireballs out. Bajira getting into damage, and they cleared Damien.
Oh, nice. Vellum. They cleared Vellum.
Oh, sorry.
They cleared Vellum. Amazing. Yes. Bajira did a nod there. Definitely well-deserved.
Where does that put the map? What do they have left for Team Green Slime?
I believe
they do need to redo Damien.
Yes, Damien is going to be something that Team Green Slime's gonna have to go in for again. It looks like they're getting advice from their coach to see which boss they want to tackle next, so they are gonna go to Damien, it seems.
Yeah.
Yes, and Damien is gonna be the choice of boss next for Team Green Slime. Now we've got Pink Beam.
we got Blau and Peter in Genesis right now,
so
just straight chilling.
It looks like Fashion Story is gonna be their main focus now.
Oh, it looks like they're giving up on the boss.
They're gonna get married?
They're gonna get married.
Congratulations.
No, someone else joining them.
Make sure you put me down for your gift registry at Ezerbo. All right, so Green Team Slime here is preparing for another round of Damien, probably strategizing with their coaches on how they want to approach this boss once again.
Yeah, no, Ziz really... I think he has the right secondary emblem regardless.
All right, so they're just double-checking their emblem here to make sure they have the right one on that they need for
And so even if
Damien.
you see a range increase, that does not mean that the item is better.
Correct.
The item might have more attack, but they definitely need more boss and more IED in Lotus and Damien.
Exactly. ID, for those at home or those that might be newer to MapleStory, ignore enemy defense is one of the most important stats in the game for actually being able to shred through the boss's defense and do more damage. Bosses have an unusually high defense.
And starting at, I believe it's like around Magnus, right? You start needing like a bit of IED. But once you get to Lotus and
Correct. You
Damien,
need
know,
IED.
or else you will not be doing any damage.
Exactly. For normally at least a 96%. Okay, so they're going to for the bind and the burst immediately. No wasting time with cooldowns here. Getting out of the way to start the CD timer.
Getting as much damage in as possible here.
Yes, Solar Eclipse is still up. And then, of course, we got the full map attack on Zizaran's side as well.
Zizaran just throwing caution to the wind, jumping through that brand.
Yes.
Does not care about the damage taken.
The bonus of them bursting together in comparison to separate is that they get the final
Going
damage
off,
from
getting
Dominion.
that extra damage.
Exactly. Final damage on both sides.
Okay. Damien diving over to the right. Alter not really in play right now. Really need to manage that sword. Can they get
Yes.
it into
Damien
the corner?
does damage dash to the right.
Kinda.
Got the sword, one sword down, only
It's
one stack
alright,
on
it's
Majira.
alright.
Zizaran does have no
Going
stacks
for
at the
early
moment.
Cleanse. Oh, but sees that Damien is diving to the left and decides to run away from that. Good idea.
Yes, exactly.
It's still pretty early on. He's only got one stack. You don't need to greed for that cleanse, or potentially just risk getting another stack.
Yes, most definitely. So we do, okay. Cleanse was there. They do have the sword on the right side.
Yep.
Damien did not get any poke damage from that.
True Sight debuff is,
Yes, Alter
play.
is back. Damien's going to dive to the right side, completely
But
out of the way,
the brand
sword
is
on the
also
right
on
as
the
well. They
right
can get the
side.
cleanse off. Just to be safe here, even with one stack, you never know.
Okay, Damien.
Oh,
going
and
over to the
Alter
left.
does
Okay.
reset.
Allowing them to get some extra damage. Bind coming
Oh, they got
off.
the bind? So they're going to go in
Random
for the full
burst
burst.
in here.
Both classes are going to burst here with their full kit.
No, just Ziz. Vegeta did
Damien
not
will
have
dash
his
to the
burst off.
left. They do have Alter available if they choose to do it, but Vegeta's going to get rid of his 2 stacks. Doesn't get poked. Wonderful sword placement here. Damien will do a dive to the left once more.
But they have clear space to be able to get chip damage.
Lots of space. They got Alter in the middle. They do have fireballs on the left side and one. Okay, it looks like Bajira's going to take aggro on the sword, so Zizaran can get a cleanse. That's amazing teamwork on both sides.
Zizaran able to get that.
And reset the sword to the right
but
corner.
can they get the sword. Okay, kind of
In a way.
good enough.
Yep, far enough to the side out of the way.
Good enough.
Alter position to the left in the middle.
Again, at this point, it doesn't really matter too much. Oh, Zizaran did get the cleanse off, but immediately got the stack
Yes,
back. because
Damien's
he
going
got
to do a
hit
dive to
by-
the right, but they
by the
relocate to
dash.
the left, not having to worry about any of that extra poke damage. Alter does reset in the middle with sword possibly landing near it. Okay, they have enough room to cleanse if they have to.
So far, so good though. From
Right now, DPS is their top priority.
trying to get as much damage in as possible.
Okay, are they going to risk the poke for the DPS? Or, okay, Zizaran is going to get some extra damage in.
Both of their bursts should be up.
Taking
but
advantage
is
of that
Bind
Nightwalker
up
kit.
is the question.
All right, cleanses up. Zizaran's going to get it just to be safe. Move the
Something-
sword.
Something that they've been struggling with all day is getting that bind off and understanding the cooldown. internal
Exactly, most definitely. And relocating that sword position is very crucial for them.
cooldown. They need to make sure that they wait enough.
Yes, okay, Bajira's going to get the cleanse here while Zizaran... Oh, no.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine. You got the cleanse off. You got the stack back. Bind comes off.
Yep.
Burst going out.
All right,
Big
Zizaran
damage.
does do his FMA, and then we got Solar Eclipse on Bajira's side. Going in for the full value, as much DPS as they possibly can in a small window of a bind timer.
Okay.
All right, now Damien is going to do fireballs. They're going to relocate the swords. Oh, no, Bajira is on the left side with enough room, thankfully.
He does have enough room to be able to just spam Styx crossing, which is really good.
And the Nightwalker Cloak is still enough for him to get extra poke damage in there, which is a
Yep.
very powerful tool for Nightwalkers to do.
Yep. So far, going significantly better than
I've-
the last run.
Yes, I've noticed Zizaran wasting no moments of extra poke DPS as much as he can.
I feel like it's because they've timed out already a couple times to Damien. They
They
really
need to risk it.
They really understand that the DPS is
Is
going
the
to
matter.
help them out. Yeah.
Yeah, and they're taking full advantage of Bajira playing on one side with Zizaran getting all that poke damage, helping them.
But unable to get the cleanse off because of the sword. Damien dashing over to the left side, just trying to get in some just more, just more damage in as possible. Ziz trying to cleanse, but continuously getting hit by the sword, unfortunately unable to get it. At 4 stacks as well. He's got to be a bit careful now here, not to engage too soon. You do not want to pick up a
Thankfully,
second
the sword placement was on the far right. They do have the cleanse available if they need to.
Should be able to get the cleanse off.
Thankfully,
the sword
thanks
hits
to
him.
being a Nightwalker. Oh, he
Sword
did
kinda-
get
sword
interrupted.
kinda hit him. Sword, he's got to hold. Oh,
And he was
unable to get
denied the
cleanse.
cleanse.
Once again. That's a little unfortunate.
Being denied the cleanse can be very, very painful, especially when you're at a higher stat count.
It's okay. There's still. Oh, the bind did go off.
Oh, okay, they did get the bind this time, and they're able to go
Okay.
full for the burst.
Bajheera using Styx crossing to get that iframe through the sword.
Exactly.
Getting that burst off, but Ziz really needs to get a cleanse off. He's getting a little too high with
Yep,
with high
avoiding
stats.
any additional damage there, trying to get as much poke as they can.
Sword on the right side. Ziz will get the cleanse off. Awesome. Really good sword placement there.
Most definitely. And Damien did dive to the right, causing no damage to our team here. Damien will dash to the left. They avoid it perfectly, and they have the cleanse available here. Bajheera's going to get it just to be safe.
Yes, avoiding, just barely avoiding that sword.
Yes, and then we do have the fireballs coming down here, but they've
Okay,
got a decent position.
They're not in any immediate danger at the moment. They're doing extremely well right now. And as I say that, sword gets placed in the middle.
And Scissorin is going to get that extra poke damage, as we were talking about.
All right, but Damien did teleport over to Bajheera's side, trying to get in as much extra damage as possible.
Yeah, Scissorin reacted fast enough to avoid that dash. Damien will die to the left, hopefully
I
not.
believe he popped Celestial. Is that Celestial Dance? Or? Not quite sure.
As long as you are mobile and keeping attention on Damien, he doesn't get much value out of his dashing, or diving for that matter, as long as you are observant.
Yep. Damien going back up with the Cheetos. Sword. Unable to get the cleanse off there because the sword also placed on the altar. Damien diving over to the left. Oh, okay. All right. Well, they burst. Seems like they're learning from their past failures and not, resisting the binds anymore. Damien diving over to the left side here. Styx just continuing to go off. Got the solar clips cancel for the extra final damage. Maintaining his distance while being able to continuing to use Styx crossing. It's on alone too. All right, Damien gonna be diving over to the left side. Bajheera does need to start looking for a cleanse here if he wants to. But so far, so good. Alter out right there. Sword will proc back up though, so hopefully he won't get hit. He does not get hit and is able to get the cleanse off. Awesome. Cooldown wise, seems like Ziz will get his cooldowns up here in about 10-15 seconds. In terms of time management, they're doing pretty well. Ziz just canceling all those hot Cheetos with Darkseid. What a fair class. Oh, but popped his burst to nothing. Hopefully that doesn't hurt them too much in the long run. Bajheera engaging with Styx crossing, utilizing the iframe extremely well. Just trying to get some more chip damage here, Diving over to the right.
And cleanse in the middle.
Oh, only at 2 stacks, so not too bad. Sword. Okay.
Testing. Oh. Yeah, let them know.
Turn off. off. Okay.
All right, so it looks like they were blocked from getting the cleanse because of Damien's fireballs. He is going to dash to the right, but they do rotate to the left to not have to worry about this. Still focusing on much as poke DPS as possible to avoid any problems in the future. We do have 3 stacks on Bajheera though. However, it's not too much to worry about. The cleanse is available if needed. Damien is going to dive to the left again. And we're going to see fireballs on the left side, but they did position him well enough to where Bajheera almost was able to cleanse. But we did see the reset there. Still at 3 stacks, but not concerning. They do have Alter if they do choose to cleanse once more. Oh, and we do see the FMA from Zizaran there. They're going for the burst and the bind. Trying to make sure they get as much value out of that final damage as possible. And Bajheera is at 4 stacks, so he may be looking to cleanse soon, but we will have to see. Unfortunately, Alter is in the middle, blocking that cleanse. Zizaran is going to keep his strategy of getting as much poke damage as possible, but that cleanse was denied. All right, and they did phase Damien. Yes, give it up for Team Green Slime. Their effort has definitely been showing off. And they're making really good progress on Damien now. All right, denied the cleanse once again, but he's going to try to go for it. Zizaran is going to move the ball to the right side of the map so that Bajheera can cleanse. Then Damien does dash to Zizaran's side, pulling aggro. Now, because he has 2 stacks, Damien is going to look towards going towards Zizaran more often. Okay, he's going to try to get the cleanse off at the 3 stacks now. Thankfully, he's able to get it, and it moves the ball out of the way for Bajheera. And they're not going to risk any poke damage here. Okay, Zizaran actually will be. And Bajheera doing a good job at resetting the debuff ball here, while Zizaran is able to get as much poke DPS as possible in between. Unfortunately, Damien did move to the side of where the ball has that. All right, now Damien is doing fireballs again, so Bajheera is going to reset the debuff ball to the right side. Zizaran's going to try to get a cleanse there, but was denied.
They are doing extremely well on their lives right now.
All right, now we're seeing this team pulling a lot of strategy.
And we've seen this strat before, luring the blue ball over to the opposite side so the other person can get as much damage in as possible.
Yes, Damien 101.
Zizaran doing that right now with his burst.
Looks like Bajheera's still on cooldown, probably saving those cooldowns. They are going to rotate them once again.
Yes.
A common strategy that we are seeing now. Unfortunately, you won't take advantage of the final damage on both sides with the debuffs. However, you are playing a little bit more safely, not having to worry about the blue ball debuff, which could end up being worse.
All right. Chip damage coming in here. You really need to worry about. I mean, the blue ball right now isn't like too much of a problem. It's when more starts spawning out and
Definitely
they get bigger.
Yeah, that's when it definitely becomes
Oh,
an
Zizaran
issue.
picking up a death here, though, unfortunately.
But they have plenty of lives to work for. Thankfully, they're doing really well on Damien.
But, you know, waiting. I mean, if he died on the right side with the blue ball, that would have been fine. But just like, you know, waiting out your deaths here.
Yeah,
Time's
it can be a little bit risky.
Okay, Bajheera did get the cleanse off, though. Really good. Not in any immediate danger there.
So it looks like Bajheera is going to have all his cooldowns available, while Zizaran's still going to be on his reset. So Zizaran might try to hold the blue debuff ball on the right side.
I think the plan is now for Bajheera, because like since Zizaran's cooldowns are not up, Bajheera might want to engage and burst alone. I think that might be the plan right now.
That might be the play here if they're going to try to trade off the aggro on the ball.
And trying to trying to figure out who has aggro on the ball.
Okay. Bajheera does get the debuff off, thankfully before the fireballs reach it in time. And now they're just going to wait to reset so they can get a good angle on Damien for some of that poke damage while waiting for cooldowns.
Yep. Shadow Spear not up for Zizaran, though. But Bajheera going to engage and
Yes.
going to burst as
Solar
much
Eclipse
as he
is
can.
now up.
All right, Zizaran also popping his burst. Oh, but unable to get it.
Ooh.
And picking up the death.
Oh, they lost so much value there with Zizaran being able to, like, losing his burst caused a lot of...
Zizaran waited a little bit
loss.
too long on that.
Yeah,
on
that
buy.
timing is crucial.
Bajheera picking up a death over
Oh.
here, too.
It doesn't mean it's over, but losing a burst like that on both sides is extremely damaging.
Yeah.
But they still do have plenty of time and opportunities to turn this around as long as they're making sure to get enough poke damage in.
Okay, Ziz will be able to get this cleanse off pretty easily. That's really good.
Yes, Zizaran is going for his poke DPS as normal, as we've been seeing.
Bajheera just aggroing that blue ball for Zizaran to do some kind of things, some
Yes.
kind of DPS here.
They have Altar available if they do choose to cleanse. Damien looks like he's going to dive. He does right on the Altar, doesn't get Zizaran.
Zizaran able to read that and dodge it.
Yes. All right, they're going to move to the right, reset the ball, and wait for Damien to stop with fireballs.
13.5 minutes here, about like, what, 20% health? The key thing here is not to be missing binds.
Exactly.
But what do you think they should do? Should they combine forces together and burst together, or should they just, you know, bounce one after another?
I
back
think
and forth?
I think the strategy of balancing between the cooldowns is better, even though they don't get the effect of both of their final damage with each other. They're at least avoiding the probability of having the ball debuff stack, which is
Yeah.
worse, as you mentioned earlier as well too.
Yeah. I think with one ball, like right now, it'd be easier to burst together. But when more of them start spawning and when they start getting bigger, probably alternating would be their best bet.
That is true. Yeah, we've seen the alternating be an extremely powerful strategy against Damien.
Yeah. Live-wise, they're doing perfectly fine. More or less just like a
Now they're just waiting for the
right
Damien reset. This is the time sometimes when Damien can be a little tricky. He does sometimes just have a combination there that can just be unfortunate, where you have to wait with a
Okay,
lot of
Ziz
downtime.
bursting by himself here. Bajheera holding that blue ball. for
Perfect.
him.
Okay, now they are doing the rotating strat where Bajheera has the debuff ball.
Massive, massive damage coming out.
Yes, now they had
This is right
no
here.
risk there.
Okay. This is really, really good for Team Green Slime.
Amazing.
Those Shadow Spears doing massive amount of damage.
Most definitely.
Oh, Zizaran getting into a DDR and failed the DDR. Also
Oh.
have 4 stacks.
But it's okay. No threat is currently apparent. But they
Blue
do
ball
have the
on
blue
him,
ball.
though. He's going to be taking that ticking damage, but he should have enough time to be able to dodge it, yes, and hope.
Cleanse available. He's going to try to get it off. He succeeded in the cleanse. Thankfully, wasn't denied.
2 blue balls now.
Damien is taking control on the left side of the map with both fireballs.
Got
And they're going to reset the ball debuff.
11.5 minutes. They're just going to be waiting for their cooldowns here. I think Bajheera does have his up.
Yes, it looks like Bajheera does have cooldowns available, so it may be his turn to burst this time, if they choose to follow that strat.
Nice, Zizaran getting through that DDR this time.
Ooh, okay, so they are going to do ball reset again. They're playing it patiently, which can be really good with
But
Damien.
they shouldn't be bringing balls to the left side because, you know, in P2, Damien does quite often reset to the left side.
That is true.
Yes.
Yeah, ball reset on the
Like
right
that.
is best. But they were close to the fireballs there, so they may have been scared to risk it.
So moving the blue balls over to the left side, not the best idea. Bind out from Bajheera, gonna get his burst out here, but
Oh,
we have a
Zizaran's
blue
trying to
ball.
aggro the ball, but he's unfortunately unable to, bringing it over on top of Bajheera.
Over.
Okay, he's grabbing aggro now.
Oh, he's got it, he's got it, he's got it.
He's got it.
Bajheera doing as much damage as possible.
Yeah, the ball can be so
Should
tricky.
re-engage and Solar Eclipse.
Zizaran tried his best to grab aggro on the ball there to help his teammate get extra DPS
He's
in.
just trying to do as much, like, just chip damage here.
All right,
Even if it's
cleanse.
the blue ball, it's not like the end of the world. He should really get off of the Solar Eclipse, though. Okay.
All right, Damien's got Fireball on the left. They're going to reset the ball on the right. They do have Cleanse available if needed.
I'm not sure how much damage that was, but 10 minutes left here now, and they got like, what was that, 11%, I think.
Yeah, about 11% left on the boss with 9
That-
minutes and 50 seconds.
That's still fine. Again, but if they miss a bind, it might be over for them.
This is true.
So as long as they keep doing, what they're doing, they should be able to get this.
Are they both on cooldowns at the moment?
They both popped their burst there.
Okay.
So they're both. So now they're just
Okay.
waiting.
Now we have to wait for a reset on both sides here.
At this point, just trying to outmove the blue balls and just trying to get some chip damage in. Stun coming out. The reverse keys from Damien. Will they be able to get the damage in though, or will this spell death? And they did not do
unfortunately
enough
did enough damage. Forcing the reset.
That's fine. That's fine.
They thankfully
enough
didn't
life.
die from stacks or having too many stacks, so no extra sword was spawned. They need to reset the debuff ball here.
Yeah. Got about, okay, Ziz's burst pretty much up. Bajira's almost. Shadow Spear not up for Zizaran, unfortunately. It looks like about maybe like 30 seconds left for Bajira here.
Yeah, so they're doing the ball reset once again while Damien does do his fireballs. Oh!
Zizaran just dying to those hot Cheetos.
Oh, that was unfortunate. Getting a little bit too eager there for extra damage did cause a death for Zizaran.
Oh, and he popping his burst skill to nothing. Damien going up. Not sure how smart that was. He's getting a little too.
All right, he's going to try to get the
a little too
cleanse there. It doesn't
overzealous.
look like he's being denied, so he does get it off, thankfully. All right, Damien did dash to the right. Didn't cause too much damage for either of the teams here. Ooh, they have to do the ball reset. Zizaran's going to get the extra DPS poke.
Zizaran trying his best, though, to get as much extra damage as possible. Unfortunately, Damien not allowing him to do so.
Definitely. Damien's trying to deny extra damage here in any way possible.
Cooldowns should be up sometime soon to get. Oh, the bind did go through. Bajira, nice. Okay, getting off some burst. Unfortunately, okay, the ball's not aggroing to him. Okay, now it is.
They do have cleanse available if needed. All right, Bajira did get. Oh, no. Zizaran got his cleanse this time.
Can't use 6 crossing for that iframe, but he still.
Oh,
he still
too
has
eager.
solar eclipse.
Oh, punished by Damien for trying to get some extra damage in there.
He had solar eclipse.
Eagerness will
Unfortunately
kill
died.
you in this fight, most definitely.
Okay, I think the play here, right? They still only have 2 blue balls, right?
Yeah.
Play here would probably be to just wait out their cooldowns and try to get in a good burst before that 3rd ball shows up.
Definitely. And
But unfortunately, time is not on their side. They only got 7 minutes left.
that's true, yeah. Almost 6.5 at this point now. Okay, it looks like... All right, Zizaran is going to try to
Zizaran's
hold...
gonna pop his skills.
Or Bajira's holding ball aggro for Zizaran so he can burst right now, but unfortunately one of the balls did still attract to him. And he
Got
was...
4 stacks.
Oh!
Bajira
And punished by Damien.
punished by Damien.
Yeah,
Oh,
Damien
couldn't
is
get the cleanse
ruthless for
off, also
positioning in this fight. That
disappeared.
is most
And
certainly true.
This burst kind of just falling a little flat. Not really doing much of it. Should get the cleanse off here. Really good. Avoiding that extra that extra sword is not what you want to see right now.
Yes, most definitely.
Just trying to get as much chip damage here as possible. Nice. Zizaran read that Damien was coming over to the left side. Got a little bit of damage there. But again, all they need to do is just stay calm, stay collected, get those cooldowns up, and hit a good burst.
Yes, it looks like they're doing a ball reset. I think Bajira's trying to hold aggro here. He is. He's trying to grab the ball so his teammate Zizaran can get DPS in without any debuffs, but unfortunately the ball denies it. Now they have 3 of the debuff balls
They
available.
Push 3. This is gonna get a little tricky.
Yeah, this is getting a little bit rough, but they are getting closer. 5 minutes left on the clock. They can still do it. Bajira has 2.
I think they have like 5-6% left. It's hard to tell.
All right, Zizaran's buff is fully available now, his entire burst. Same on Bajira's side. I wonder if they're going to swap cooldowns again, or if they're going to have both focus priority. Oh, no, they need to
Reverse keys comes out. Will they be able to do damage? Zizaran, can he do some damage here? He's bursting it out. Okay, nice. They aren't going to die from the full map attack. Good stuff, good stuff.
Now, when it comes to having 3 debuff balls, they may want to try to attract them into the corner to have one in their teammates just because there's too many here.
Popping Solar Eclipse there. He's got 3 stacks as well. May look to cleanse here.
He's going to try to get the cleanse. He'd get denied because of the relocation and the poke damage. Solar Eclipse still available. He can iframe through that if he needs to, but he doesn't. He's okay.
Hit the bind. Popping Rib for Damnation.
Nice. Bajira's out of the way. Zizaran's holding it for him.
The ball's on Zizaran.
He's holding it.
Was what lagging? What happened?
Oh, no.
I think he lagged. Oh, God.
Oh, no.
All right.
That was a critical moment.
Get this cleanse off, though. Should get this cleanse off.
He's trying to get DPS in instead of cleansing, which is a risk. Oh, and he ends up getting caught there.
He's at 5 stacks. It's okay.
Oh, Zizaran did die out. Unfortunately, it is just up to Bajira. Oh, no.
Bajira at 4 right now. 5 stacks.
Oh, no.
Choosing.
And that's it for Green Slime, you guys. They did try their best. Give a round of
applause.
applause
For them, though. That last attempt was really, really good.
Most definitely. I mean, they played amazing to the very end and still tried.
Yeah.
It was incredible. I mean, they were swapping strategies and seeing what they could do to kind of shake things up for them. Unfortunately, they did meet their demise with Damien, but I mean, you could see the effort they put into that fight.
And just how much they, just even today progressed through each attempt.
Most definitely, yes. I mean, even through the denying on the cleanses and everything like that, they still persevered and they tried their best to work around a lot of those obnoxious mechanics that can kind of back you off of what you need. So now we can take a look at the scoreboard here, our final scoreboard, I believe. Team Orange Mushroom at 1,000 points that had a 132 point reduction and 6 bosses defeated.
Team Green Slime here, 500 total points, 95 points deducted, and 3 bosses? Oh, it says 4 though. 3 or 4 cleared.
They had 4 bosses defeated, it seems. And Team Pink Bean ended on 300 points with a minus 65 point value from death and 3 bosses defeated. Team Orange Mushroom is our winner.
Okay.
All right, let's have one more round of applause for Team Orange Mushroom. That was intense. That was super intense, and it was done so quickly. We're gonna come talk to you all in just a second. Team Pink Bean, what happened? You gave up so fast. It's okay. It's okay. It's all good. It's all good. I admire the perseverance for Team Green Slime, by the way. They went all the way, right? All the way. It's amazing. So I want to say congratulations to Team Orange Mushroom for winning the first ever MapleStory Fest 2022 Boss Blitz. And now we are going to present you with the Boss Blitz Tournament Cup. Hold on, I shouldn't. You know, why don't you all come out here? I know you're comfortable like behind the screens, but come on out to the stage. Let's give you your trophy. Yeah, here. No, I want to give it to you. Oh, you want it? Yes, it's your trophy. There you go. Hold it up. Take a photo. There you go. That's how we do it.
Shout out to Mimi because we couldn't have done it without her. So that's definitely a trophy. We didn't do it without her. So thank you, Mimi.
Now tell us real quick. What was the hardest boss?
Damien, because we choked at the end. It was taking forever to kill him because we were just panicking. And then yesterday we were practicing until like midnight. And I got here at my hotel at midnight, but we killed them with like 10 minutes left. I'm like, oh, we got this tomorrow. And then like we were cruising through the bosses. But then Damien, we just started choking. I looked at the clock. I'm like, oh, dude, we're about to time out. We have to get out of here. So also another thing was Lotus. You know, like it speeds up sometimes. We've been practicing that boss for a long time, and I was like, I hope we don't get a seed where it just stays sped up for a long time. And of course, we got that one where it just wouldn't stop, and I'm just waiting for it to, stop. But yeah, those two were definitely the hardest bosses, which I see why. So yeah.
Right on. I mean, look, at the end of the day, we said it earlier, right? Practice makes perfect. They practiced.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was perfect, but they won. So
Thank you.
That's fantastic. And they got a cake too. I don't know if you realize this, but you're
Dude, let me
yeah.
get this cake. Oh my goodness.
It's a pink bean cake,
Wait, this
so
is a real
you
cake?
get
This
to
is
eat pink bean.